has a chance to leapfrog or really don't dunk on it, man. Or like to really gain some ground, dude. I'm being serious. I think it can gain some ground. Yeah,
man.
I know,
just
but
loaded up a webpage,
I know what
man.
you wanted
Oh my
to do.
God.
I know what you want to do is dunk on it. Why else would you have done it? Listen, you can't count them out, in my opinion.
You would never count on Microsoft.
Yeah,
That's a stupid thing to do, right? Because they have a lot of money, they have a lot of engineering talent.
Exactly. And if they put all of their data to use as well, it can really help gain some ground for this tool. Pull it up, man. Do something with it.
Have you been on this website before, Assassino? Thumbs up or thumbs down? Thumbs down! Fabian, where is he? Have you used Microsoft Copilot before? That's what I thought.
Ask Juan.
Juan, have you used Microsoft Copilot before? Once. Tiffany, have you used Microsoft Copilot before? No. Katina, man, have you used Microsoft Copilot, brother?
Oh,
it's that LLM, Katina, man. Have you used it? Neil. He has once in his life.
Crazy. Did you ask Ram?
I'm scared to speak to Ram sometimes,
you know
bro. Yeah, you gotta get her in the right mood.
All right, Sia.
Sia, have you used Microsoft Copilot? Adara, have you used Microsoft Copilot?
Never. I don't want to. I don't care to.
Exactly.
All right, well, cool. That's why I don't mind standing against everyone else who doesn't want to use it. I'll happily use it, even though I don't.
Go, baby. It is, yeah, it's lagging. Look, I wish them the best.
So is MuseSpark.
Right? MuseSpark, yeah. Shout out to MuseSpark, right? Shout out to MuseSpark, right? No, MuseSpark's actually, if you believe some of the reports, again, I haven't used
but
it.
it's still
but
lagging.
you don't hear the reports positive about Copilot. It's not like it comes out, look, oh, it did so well on the benchmarks.
Oh, yeah, no.
Do you hear that?
Absolutely not, no.
Anyway, all right, guys. It's been real. Thank you guys for joining us today. We're 2 minutes over. I think we had 2 minutes from yesterday. Now we have a couple in the bag there. We can just take Friday off.
Tomorrow is Friday.
I think we'll just take Friday
off. I'm telling you, at 1:59:50, we better be sending it over to those guys. To those guys.
All right, the Katina man is demanding that the production team cut our mics, send it over there. So we're going to give him what he wants.
Exactly. I'm not going to give up to any pressure.
We're going to mute our mic. That way you can't hear us. And we're
Copilot.
Take care.
Let's go, Copilot.
The thing is, I'm tired of these guys because they do random things for 2 or 3 minutes, and then they're like blaming us somehow.
Like it's somehow
we owe them for that, you know. So shout out to Joe. As much screen time as he wants, he can have.
I don't believe nobody's used Copilot.
I didn't even know what Copilot was.
Okay, I'll be straight up.
I thought it was ChatGPT.
I'll be straight up. It basically is ChatGPT.
I use ChatGPT all the time.
Haven't you ever had I forget what happened, but I was at home and for some reason something reset and Chrome wasn't my main browser, and I had Edge open and Edge opened up for whatever reason.
Yeah,
and I was doing something, I was like, oh, so I just did and I ended up using Copilot because that's what you're on.
Why are we talking
because
about
I was
Copilot anyways? Because Joe's.
I don't know.
Microsoft or something over there?
I don't know why we're talking about Copilot. Because we shouldn't be talking about Copilot. Yeah. That's not very interesting. You know what is exciting and interesting, though? The updates that we're getting out of Origenics, everybody. That's ticker OGEN, much better than Microsoft. On NYSE American, the company's now activated its Phase 2A clinical trial in Australia, with its first site fully operational and patient dosing expected next. They're developing ONP002, an intranasal treatment targeting concussion and mild traumatic brain injury, an area where there are currently no FDA-approved therapies. Alongside that, Origenics has spent the past year strengthening its balance sheet, resolving liabilities, and restoring exchange compliance. And the focus now shifts to execution, with clinical progress underway and additional CNS assets under evaluation. I want to shout out to ticker OGN Origenics. Brain first. There you go. So thank them for sponsoring this portion of the show. I can tell you, I don't want to call the IPOs a dud, but neither one of them was big enough. Oh, this is not even the one we're in. Neither one of them was big enough to warrant the opening print. The nuclear one did a liquidity grab and then went higher. CSQR, if you took the opening print, you basically... Actually, I don't think I've ever seen a situation where the opening print is the literal high of the day on the IPO. There's not even a wick above it. and it's just been trending down ever since. I was gonna put a stop order breaking down through 20, and I probably still will, but I'm basically short this through 50. But all the other shorts closed. This is the one. If it breaks $20, I am gonna look for a breakdown short. But again, I've never seen a situation where like the opening print was literally the high of the day. It's a first. IPO market fizzling.
Yeah, that's happened before, I think, for IPOs, but maybe not.
Maybe not one that I've been paying attention to. I
Yeah,
guess.
that's the thing.
Smaller ones.
Yeah, we're just playing around about Copilot. I mean, I think Microsoft has been really a nice mover here, right? I mean, back up into the 50-period moving average. So, using Windows products, there's still so many people all over Windows, man. Excel and all of those products continue to be, well used in the industry. And I think Copilot and Microsoft does have a runway to go back up to the upside. So, look, to your question, you can clearly see my positions. So when will it end? I mean, all you can really do is have a plan, and we talk about that every single day. And where our plan keeps on leading us to is the profit land. And today, there's SpaceX short, there's the Nasdaq short, there's IBIT short, there's Intel short. So we had the space, IPO short, we had the overall market short, we had crypto short, and then we had the chips short. All of these, obviously, today with what's been happening, are going to be ringing of the register. I mean, including IBIT. I mean, we were short the names that we wanted to be. We got stopped out there. 70 holds again. We were at the gym. We didn't see that trade. I wish we would have. All the way to the downside there, would have taken that one more time. But there's the trades, man. And then, if we're going to talk about short, let's talk about the TQQs right here. This is actually going to be PNL1 today, shorting the market, right? And so there it goes to the downside. And it's calling stick with your conviction, stick with your game plan, and the rest is history. When you go down to the downside, I mean, we did real good this time, waiting for lows of the day to get out and then waiting again for consolidation to get out. So, not too much nonsense in between here, just running things to the low end of that. And then, I started the show off by saying like how much I love trading SpaceX, man. And SpaceX today, just an absolute monster short. We both called this short. Nice move to the downside. There it goes, absolutely bleeding all over the place. 131, new low, all-time low for SPCX. Those of you that have been calling like, do not buy this at these levels, congratulations. I mean, it's been so far so good on that call. I mean, you guys have absolutely nailed that one to the downside. I mean, even Joe waiting for 125, like this has been a brutal.
Probably gonna get it.
Yeah, exactly. This has been a brutal move down. But hey, man, join every single day. Make sure you go check it out. The sticky note, if you go back and look, man, I mean, it's every day we've got on some pretty hot ideas. And, today just worked out to be that way. It's Thursday. Any day that ends in a Y is a fun day to trade. And today's just another one of those days. So there we go, man.
It's those days that don't end in Y you got to watch out for.
Yeah, exactly. And SpaceX right now, just an absolute monster today.
Yeah, there's plenty of monsters around. I think it was a perfect day on the board. Close. Like I'll be dead honest. It's the first day that I've lost on SpaceX. We got breaking news from Adara. We're gonna go a quick second. I'm not seeing USO moving around. We'll get back from the desk in a second.
Google sharply dropping to the downside, seeing reports that their Gemini launch is going to be delayed as their tech falls short of their goals. Again, GOOGL to the downside. Google Gemini's launch reportedly delayed due to tech not meeting their goals. If I see any more details here, I'll let you know. Back to you.
By who not meeting their goals?
I don't know. Anytime Google goes down, it's just a buying opportunity. Like it might not be a buying opportunity right now, but I really, really like Google, man. And I want to know what Tiffany's picks were.
I didn't hear that.
Fabian, we need to show what all these picks are. Somehow we'll get into Fabian's there because I want to make sure what people are picking here moving forward. But there it is, 363 going lower right now is Google. So wow, yeah, it looks like a delay of Gemini. I guess it's 4.5, I guess 4.5. Yeah. So nice downside tick there for Google as that's getting taken out right now and a little bit lower there. We'll wait to see what winds up happening here with Google moving forward. I'm going to refresh my stream service here and get that news for you. But as Adair just mentioned there, it looks like there's a delay here in their release of Gemini. I don't think it's like anything to worry about, but it's not my problem right now. Google's a huge holding of mine, and I think it's just been doing real well. And we'll wait to hold it. And if we get an opportunity to buy some 340s on this, I mean, look, things are going to get delayed. And just part of the game. And I just, I worry that the large language model, we just talked about Copilot and everything like that, that the large language model business is a little bit, potentially oversaturated right now. Okay, well, I can't see those picks right now, but maybe you could zoom in or something on those. I have no idea what people's picks are.
If I squint really hard and lean in, like maybe.
Okay, here we go.
Well, now after we land.
Ooh, someone took SpaceX. Do we know these people's names? No, we do not. Sean, chat. Oh, chat.
How did we
has SpaceX?
How did we determine the chat?
And I have Micron? Okay.
How did we determine the chat?
I don't know. I'm trying to find out. Andre. Okay, let's see who has what. Okay, Sia has Bloom, JP Morgan, Chase, and NVIDIA. I like that one. Scroll up. I want to see all this stuff. Scroll up. Randy's back? Oh, God. Okay, Randy has SanDisk, Exxon, and NVIDIA. Okay, Fabian, Taiwan Semis, ASML, Broadcom, Micron, and that must be a Chinese name there. KXIAY. Okay, we'll go to that. Bloom Energy there with our good friend Sia over there. Andre, AMD, Embraer, and I don't know if these are longs or shorts. I assume they're all longs. Deere, I like Deere.
That is our assumption.
Deere and Amazon.
You have to say you're going short.
Yeah, Neo has XLF.
I haven't even given my other two. Yeah, XLF,
and WBD, Warner Brothers. Okay, Tiffany, NVIDIA, Apple, Taiwan Semi. All right, CrowdStrike, JP Morgan, Walmart for Joe. Adara the same as well. She has Adobe. Yeah, I see Adobe there. Good one. They're short on
That's
Adobe.
That's a short, yeah.
And remember, I think all of these are going to hit on July 17th close, right? So we're going to all these picks are coming in tomorrow, about 24 hours from now. All the prices will be locked in. Okay, Microsoft, Broadcom, Eli Lilly, and SpaceX and NEE. Okay. A lot of us taking the same picture, which is good. I like the Broadcom play. I like Eli Lilly. That's been mine.
Yeah, we're discussing Broadcom, how it was the only thing that wasn't really down chipland yesterday.
Yeah, Broadcom's a strong one. And that's it, I guess. Okay, great.
Hold on a second. My question is, and I'm asked out loud, maybe you don't know, but maybe for Fabian, how do we determine what the chat is going to be? Like because I thought we didn't have a methodology that we were going to be able to pull that off with.
We don't have to even have that.
We don't. It's not we don't have to. We did last time.
I think he's looking at the ones that are always asked about. I think it's like a net look at there, which is why Big Bear AI was on there last time. But I see nobody taking crypto. So I don't know, man. We'll have to wait
next
to see.
Next year, 2027.
Yeah, we'll go on with crypto.
Possibly. By the way, I still haven't seen in print this alphabet. Oh, here we go. Finally. I restarted my thing and now I see it. Because you're still headed lower on Google here. Almost to 360, 361 it looks like we got to, and then tag the bottom. If you zoom out, we just lost a 50-period moving average. If you zoom out, you've basically given up almost all of yesterday. Almost. Not all, but almost all of yesterday. The breakout was at about 360, so there is some range where, at least theoretically, it's not complete doom and gloom. We've seen this before, where you have like the negative story delay, whatever it might be. All the times it'll be Apple. Sometimes it'll be like, oh no, it's one source talking about it, and they refute it a couple of days later.
No one took Apple. Also, nobody took Apple.
That's a good point. But you know what? No one's ever taken Apple.
No.
No one's taken Apple.
Maybe I'll take
That's
Apple.
untrue.
I haven't decided my next two.
Apple was someone's pick last year, for sure.
It was?
Off the top of my head.
I don't remember.
It was either Joe, Sharif, or Brendan. It was. I knew it was one of those three. So yeah, Joe did pick Apple and Meta last year.
Okay. But man, I'm getting old.
How many times did we do this? I thought we only did this. Oh no! Oh, last year. Yeah. When I took Palantir. Yeah, that's right. We'll see which one can go higher here today. I was debating a few different names, but we'll add Micron. I mean, I'm listed in there as Micron, but I don't know. We'll have to wait to see what happens there with those picks coming through in the next couple of days. But Micron right now, pretty interesting to see where that winds up going now. Downside, trying to break lower. And damn you, Brian Shannon, damn you. I was thinking about selling this thing there at 560, 550, but as we always say, man, don't listen to us or anybody else. Do your own thing. And there it goes, man. AMD finally now breaking back down below. I was getting nervous about this thing up there, but we do want to try to hold on to some winners. And I checked my account, man. It's like I'm under 1% of my holdings are AMD, so it's not the end of the world. Big part of my holdings are huge Google, huge Microsoft, huge Meta, all the Meg. I I actually looked up. I'm up over 1,000% on NVIDIA. Like, it's absolutely insane where we finally started to buy some of these names. Obviously, we wait to see. Who cares what's been happening in the market? You're always looking forward to what's going to happen, right? So you're trying to figure out what the next NVIDIA is. What's the next SanDisk? What's the next WDC so far and so forth. So, yeah, right now, Google's trying to, yeah, that's what I was saying. Yeah, the most mentioned tickers there. Yep. All right, so there it is, man. Google going to the upside right now, 364 and change. I don't know. We'll see if 362 winds up holding. But, yeah, news there on Gemini being delayed, starting that to the downside. All right, this is a halting name right now, EDHL, going through this. Now, that's a halter, and it's been halting a couple times. 560 back down to $4. We'll wait to see if EDHL has any sort of movement behind it. IREC, not doing anything. QH, no. STFS, STFU maybe. That one's not doing too much there either. Yeah, so right now there's been nothing really halting all afternoon. So, maybe just that VEE. Twin V is not doing much either. So
very disappointing.
Yeah, we wait on all of these trades. You know what I'm saying?
That might even break down. It was good It was good this morning, but like all morning long, it just trended higher. And since it broke the trend, it's holding under VWAP. But at least it's holding the lows at 33. It could still break VWAP and get going. But look at the volume. I think the volume's really not that good. You look at it in the afternoon, like even when it was going to the downside, it was at least giving you spikes. You were holding up a little bit better the last couple of days. Now you've got near pre-market trash volume on this bad boy. So we'll see what happens there. That EDHL really does ring a bell. Let's go back up to Adair. Got another update.
Keep an eye here in AAPL, guys. We had a drop and then a pop back up here as we get some reports that House Select Committee on China, Chairman John Moulinar, along with another Congressman, Representative Whitesides, have sent a letter to U.S. Commerce Secretary Howard Lutnick urging him not to allow for the American purchase of memory chips from Chinese companies. Now, why is this significant? Because you know Apple's trying to do that. If I get more details, I'll let you know, but this is not the first time I've heard this today. Again, we're getting Representative John Moulinar, Chairman on the House Select Committee of China, trying to urge Secretary of Commerce Howard Lutnick not to allow American companies, including Apple, to push or to purchase rather these chips from China. Let's also take a look here at some of these crypto names, including Coinbase, including IBIT, another kind of politically tinged story here. Politico reporting that there's going to be some crypto regulatory text that is set to be released today, but apparently this text does not have support from all the senators. Apparently Senate Democrats do not support this text. Now, this is interesting because we know that a group of senators was set to meet with U.S. President Trump today. Reportedly, that group included Senator Cynthia Lummis of Wyoming, but we don't really have any more details on it other than that. Either way here, that is also was reported by Politico. So again, after we hear that the senators are set to meet with Trump on crypto, we get some news here that apparently the crypto regulatory text that could be released doesn't have support from all of the Senate. Back to you.
Thanks, Adair. It's not a good day for like the random volume spike continuations. Like there was, right before we came on, there was that headline for MSOS, right back into the lows. And then just now there was that spike down on Apple, although I guess it bounced right back, but I guess it's heading lower now. And then Alphabet was able to catch a bid right away. It never filled in the gap all the way down under 360. I suppose it could still head into the bottom. But it's another reason why it's a different ball game when you have the algos making up the liquidity in the market, or more than half the liquidity in the market. Pull bids, pull offers, and that's just the first reaction. And a lot of times, if you end up chasing the void, you get things like, I feel like this happens almost every single time with MSOS, or some of the smaller names that don't have the liquidity. When the market makers just dry it up, anybody that sort of gets caught punching the void is just gonna almost automatically lose. Like, think of the follow through that you need for that. Anyways, that is what it is. MSOS is just a dog. Yuck.
Nothing in the marijuana space is very good.
I can't think of anything in that
UNH
space.
thought they were having a good day today until the market
FCell.
opened up. Yeah, Sharif is in I think a swing
Fuel
long
cell?
or something on FCell. So I don't know. I think that's been getting crushed.
I don't know.
I'd rather figure that out.
They report.
I don't know if they report or when they report, but we can look at FCEL, downward parallel.
Oh, I see it. Look at the daily chart on FSL. Like this thing was hugging the 50 period. Like look how tightly it hugs the moving average. Broke it and then reject. That's a great looking short. Like hugs it the other direction and then drops off. But is that candle real? This one? Yeah, that's absolutely real. Like look at the failure at the same point too.
Alone.
Yeah, so I'm trying to figure out why it's down 15. There must be a story we're not.
Yeah, I think there was somebody talking about it this morning. I think something about fuel cell. But yeah, UNH today, opens up at 455 there, and just downside play now down into 430. So looking for some good quality names that have really been sort of inching higher here, like daily. Just not as dramatic as like you'll see those bigger AI kind of names go up. But UNH has just been sort of chugging right along. I mean, it had such a great movement from March. I mean, these stocks that have almost doubled right there. Nice move there on UNH. But the story this afternoon, I guess, is going to be Google. I mean, the volumes here, it's not even like it's huge volume. Again, you see the volume off the open, right? Oh, that's yesterday's close, actually. There's a volume off the open. We're starting to dwindle down a little bit now as we maybe break the lows here on Google, 361.75. I don't really want to trade it. I mean, I've just been getting out more on the Nasdaq, as the market made moves down lower. And so this is not going to look like a huge move down, but it's pretty good. This will be my largest P&L name today, and we don't have a red name, but at the end of the day, it's about trying to be consistent with it, and watching this go to the downside, and TQs so far so good here, and in the whoopsie moment of the day for me was right here with Meta. We put the wrong price, it tanked, but then it ripped up to 682, and look at this, man, right into some pre-market levels, and then whoosh to the downside. The reason why we go short on everything today, including IBIT and Meta and everything, is just that we had the feels of the market being short day, right? I mean, so that's why we take SpaceX to the downside, and we had to hold this one against us like 50 cents to make $7 or whatever, so that's not horrible there. I think getting out of the 200 break would be, the next most reasonable thing. So let's cancel our stop there at 137. 137.50, sorry, right up into here, and we'll put it now at 133. So we'll put a stop here at 133, and then hey, man, if it if it gives us an opportunity to get back into it or whatever, we'll do that at a higher level. So we'll just hold on to that and see if it does want to break through. It doesn't look like the 135 meant a whole bunch today, but yeah, that short printed out, good movement down there. And yeah, we'll wait to get a little bit more on the TQs at some point here, maybe VWAP, but we're just getting out and out and out of all these positions. So 15% left here, and I don't know, maybe 5% or so on SpaceX, so it's not huge what we have left right now. Netflix goes tonight, so that should be an interesting one. That was one of Ramin's, I think, picks last time. Today, not great here for Netflix over the last little while. Hopefully it holds 70, man. We'll see what happens tonight. It's so hard to make calls into earnings. I mean, you saw what Taiwan Semi came out with last night, and it was just a banger of a report. And, it was down 5% earlier. Thankfully, it's rebounded a little bit here once the market opened. But yeah, now Samsung, I keep calling it Samsung. Taiwan Semi just still down off of a monster report.
The only consistent truth is that the good banks, even if they dip, will catch a bid.
Yeah, banks are forever.
Like everything else is a crapshoot, but like with Goldman and JP and Morgan Stanley, that they're gonna catch a bid on the first day usually if they're down, and if they're not down, then well, I mean, it doesn't matter if they're not down; they're just going to go up because they're going to have big numbers. They're going to raise the dividend. But everything else is a crapshoot. What's not a crapshoot around here, and is an absolute certainty, is that we're going to get some goods at the screen from Adair.
Thank you very much for that intro, Neil. And Sean, you kind of accidentally teed this up for me unless you happen to see this visual. But here is a Netflix themed to the window, to the wall, where we pick up an infographic window here. We talk about it in the wall. Now you might be thinking, what is the assault on my eyeballs that is this infographic? The reason I chose this background is because it's supposed to emulate that image that you see when you turn on Netflix for the Netflix originals. That was what the whole goal for this visual was in the background. Let's talk about what we're actually expecting from Netflix tonight. This infographic already available on X at TTV Research. As always, I'll repost it a couple minutes before the report's set to come out at 4:05 p.m. Revenue estimate here, $12.57 billion. EPS estimate, 79 cents per share. Now, last quarter, they beat on EPS, they beat on sales, and their cash from operations was like massive. They almost doubled what they did in the prior year quarter. Their guidance, though, kind of wanted to cover your eyes because it wasn't too good. Q2 sales outlook, $12.57 billion. Obviously, now that matches analyst estimates, but the prior analyst estimate at that time was 12.64 billion. So they actually missed on sales guidance. They also unfortunately missed on EPS guidance, 78 cents, versus 84 cents expected. And that sales outlook also was just kind of middling compared to estimates. So Netflix right now, there is a lot that we want to see from this company. We'll have to wait and see if we, kind of get this double beat, because I think for NFLX, you want to see a double beat. You want to see, a strong guidance raise, and they also release data from how their content's doing. Now, we know they had a lot of really strongly performing original content at the end of fiscal 2025. I've been hearing some reports that apparently so far their original content has not performed that well, specifically the second seasons of shows like One Piece, like Running Point. So I want to see if they have any data on how those shows are performing, which they usually release. That'll give us a good gauge of if we're going to see continued momentum on Netflix into the second half of the fiscal year. You can find this, I know, very eye-popping, for better or worse, visual on X at TTV Research. I'll see you guys at the wall around this time tomorrow, but I'll see you at the desk even sooner as we send you back up to the guys.
Thanks, Adair. I mean, with Stranger Things done, what do they have at Netflix that we're waiting for?
Well, that's what she was saying there. We got to watch. I'm watching Running Point. I mean, we actually watched an episode yesterday, but we hadn't watched that in a while. It's just a basic show. I don't think there's much going on there. That's like the Lakers and all that kind of stuff.
That's the one with.
Yeah, I forget her name.
Yeah.
It's a blonde.
You were
very
talking
famous.
About this before. It's
Megan.
She was in a Matthew McConaughey film.
Yeah, she's huge.
I know.
It's a good show. Anyways, and then the other one was we started actually watching One Piece season 2, and we kind of stopped. So yeah, to your point, Adair, there. Not much in our family right now for Netflix. The wife likes all that, like Dubai Bling and all these kind of shows. And they just got Hot Ones on there as well, and they are buying some content.
My daughter likes the baking shows. So we
Kate Hudson.
We're doing Nailed It. Kate Hudson's great.
That's what it is.
We like that. My daughter likes Nailed It more than I do.
Nailed It.
Nailed It it's fun for a bit, but after a while, that show just gets, I don't know.
Yeah, we don't watch it.
They're mucking stuff up and making mistakes that the producers are like, okay, you got to do something egregiously wrong.
Purpose, yes.
And they're doing it on purpose.
Yeah.
Oh, you're putting metal in the microwave on purpose, and then at the last second taking it out. You're just
metal in the microwave.
You know that person isn't really making that
Sometimes
mistake.
You're
just
kids,
doing
right?
it for
the ones
show.
you guys watch, or
we love the kid baking show.
Yeah.
What I love about it is it gets Erin excited to try stuff.
Exactly.
And then she'll want to,
cooking.
Try something out that maybe she'll see there. It's inspiring stuff.
The Hawk. That comes out today. That's the Will Ferrell episodes where he's a golfer. I definitely want to watch that. Shout out. I was watching The Daily Show yesterday. Molly Shannon's in it as well. That should be a good one. The Hawk.
Okay.
That's the Will Ferrell. That's the one that you were watching that you started cracking up on, right? Where he's a golfer.
The trailer. I'm watching that for sure.
That's coming tonight. So
I was dying watching the trailer. Alphabet just lost 360.
Ooh.
Yeah, so it is still. Right, that's the page I'm on, so that's one I went to. Oh, STDN, which is. Anyways, no one's gonna. STDN. I gotta be able to. Standard, whatever the heck it is. That's the IPO today. It finally broke the $13 level. So I'm going to take it if it breaks 13. That being said, there's a size here at 1290. STDN. I'm saying it out loud so you get it right. Immediately, there's a 1290 bid. I don't think I've ever seen that before. So I got slipped to 94. I'll give it to just above the 13. Usually I give it to the quarter, but what's this guy doing there? That's why it didn't fall through. It broke the 13 even. I wanted to take the first flat bottom break when it wasn't going higher, and now there's just a bid sitting out in front. So there's the breakdown. The low was actually 1305 at the time. This is a unique one because I'm sure it's happened before, but the IPO issue price was $15. They were talking about 18 to 20. So they wanted 18 to 21 was what they were talking about going into today. They eventually priced it at 15, and now it's breaking 13. So Standard Nuclear has gone absolutely in the wrong direction. But the fact that bidder is right there at that 90 level.
It's not gone nuclear.
No, it is not.
That's how you tell that those.
Or it's gone Chernobyl.
Pretty silly to trade. Whenever there's no volume there, we watched SK Hynix, we watched Cerebras, and obviously SpaceX just kind of go pretty hard off their first day. But not much going on there. Yeah, there's Google breaking 360, but right back up into 361. What's up in there?
Keep an eye here on GOOGL, Google in focus. we already heard this report here. They're going to be delaying Gemini. I have a few more details, though, basically. So this is going to be the 3.5 Pro AI model specifically. This could also be delayed by a matter of months. So slightly longer delay here. Basically, the issue is they're trying to improve coding capabilities in multiple layers of internal review, but there's some slow development, I guess, and slow updates to that. There's also apparently growing internal frustration amongst employees, specifically engineers and managers over at Google, due to the slow pace of development. So just a little bit of context here as to what's going on in Google with that Gemini delay. Also worth mentioning here, just so you guys are aware, seeing Iran State TV reporting that, quote, American projectiles have hit areas of southern Iran. Again, we can't confirm that, but just be aware. It sounds like there is unfortunately some more bombing and more tensions here in the Middle East. Back to you.
American projectiles are hitting, like what? Like they're throwing rocks or something? No.
Yeah, they're throwing shoes. Like that one person threw something at a tempo girl the other day. They threw their shoe at one of our players. Stay classy.
I think I think there's been a history of that in the WNBA. I think there's like a,
I never heard of that. But yeah.
No, I remember there was something about that a couple of years ago.
Oh, was there?
Yeah.
Okay, well, we'll continue to watch out for that one. But yeah, we will be having Steve Tileman coming through 2:45 from, again, Trade the Pool. We had Mitch earlier. So put your questions in the chat right here. If we see them, we can ask Steve about any of these names that you potentially would like to cover. We'll be here for that when Steve gets right back in. Steve! Hopefully he'll have something to say. Okay. All right. I mean, a name, I was just looking here, DraftKings, I don't know why I still have DraftKings on my board here. I mean, it doesn't do a whole bunch of volume. It's not like a super, super exciting name, but DraftKings is right here at the 200 period moving average on our 5-minute chart. We kind of got up there earlier, fell back in. It's there right now. Potential short, I guess, for DraftKings 25.35 could be an interesting level there for DKNG. And of course, we continue to not necessarily worry about it, but there has been a pretty good downside push here in SK Hynix today. So again, another just wild back and forth sort of struggle with SK Hynix. And what I mean by that is like some days you're up huge, other days you're down quite huge. And, just like that came out of nowhere. That was basically from the levels that we were just at 160. This thing ripped up to 195. Now you're back down to 150 2 days later. Basically one trading day and give it a half day today, all the way down to 154 from 195. Like this is pretty brutal how some of these memory names just can't really find their footing right now on SK.
I think the low is exactly 150.
Yeah, I think this is close to.
I have 150.
Yeah, I mean, that would make sense here. I can SKHY.
But I don't
I'll see what it is.
Put on e-signal.
Well, the e-signal chart is a little bit messed up here as well. But let me zoom back out. No, it's going to be too hard. Let me zoom. Okay, so it's saying 151.30 is about the
151.30? Okay.
Yeah, that's what they have, 151.30 there on SK Hynix. So yeah, this is like whoop, 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 whoop. So right now we wait for 150, I guess, on SKHY. What's up, Sia?
The SPY currently down 0.54%. The triple Qs are down 1.5%. We have the Dow down 0.31% at the moment, and the IWM down inching closer to 0.15% right now. Let's take a look at a couple of things I want to talk to you about. MAN, that is Manpower and Group, up on the day 34 almost percent, has for its third quarter revenue to rise 2 to 6% versus the FactSet consensus estimate of 1.7%. Adjusted earnings in the second quarter coming in at 99 cents per share on revenue of $4.9 billion, topping Wall Street's call for 95 cents per share and $4.72 billion. Let's also take a look at CTAS. That is Cintas Corporation is up 7.4% on the day. Bank of America has just upgraded this name from neutral to buy. You also have ASTS here. That's AST Space Mobile stock has fallen over 16% after it's announced plans to offer $1 billion of convertible senior notes that's due 2034 in a private offering. And finally, AVAV, AeroVironment, is up 6.3% on the day. Upgrade at Raymond James to outperform from market perform. The firm has said that AVAV's bookings are recovering and its backlog is poised to grow. With that, AVAV is up on the day 6.3%.
Thank you there, Sia. And Galadriel. There's I don't know if you're into Lord of the Rings. Good name. Do we use Think or Swim? No. We are here at Real Trading all of us sitting at Real Trading, and we use P8, which is a platform. It's a prop floor, so P8 is proprietary to Real Trading. So if you're with Real Trading with the campus program, then you get an opportunity to use P8. So yeah, again, that's what everyone is using here. If you see someone executing on the platform, we're all using exactly the same things. I'm not going to here to recommend any broker. All I will ever say about a broker is the most simple one. Find a broker that works for you, right? Like, do they have the features you want? Are they responsive to your requests? Are you satisfied? You know, at the end of the day, those are the things that matter. Can you get your money in and out? Like, it sounds like pretty simple stuff, but you know, like, understand that there's always options out there. We're just blessed to have been fortunate for a very long time here on a prop floor, which is very different. So no Thinkorswim. Although, like, I know of people that have used Thinkorswim, but it's not my. It's not enough for me to tell you that I know some people that use it.
Yeah, no. Shout out there to whatever platform everybody's using. Yeah. All right, so man, like, unbelievable that we have Intel written down again as a short today, and it just bleeds like crazy all day. But of course, like I said, trading in the open can be a little difficult, which is why, you know, you can see right now we're short the TQs and we're short SpaceX. You know, $8 in the money on those two trades, but we weren't able to hold Intel, and that's going to happen sometimes. You know, you get into a position and it just doesn't really, you know, pan out for you the way you thought it was going to, and it just didn't keep on going. Comes right back into those levels, and then downside from there. We did have an opportunity to reshort it, but once we got out of Intel, I tried to reshort it right there, as you can see. So I still did believe in the short, but then it just took off, and we are quite thankful that we stuck to our rules and didn't get back in there. But yeah, into pre-market sort of highs there for Intel. We could have, you know, been into that one as well to the short side, as here we go, man. The market's doing all over again. And I don't know, we got that question about, you know, where does it stop? And I'm, you know, when I'm in tomorrow, you know, I'll probably write down shorts. I mean, today's ideas were 4 shorts. You know, and that's how we have the net, and that's how we have these trades on board. It's SpaceX short, it's TQ short, it's IBIT short, it's Intel short. Like,
I don't think anybody had a long today.
I don't know what anybody else had, but
I didn't have a single long idea.
Yeah.
I know, but I don't think Joe had any longs either.
I don't really. I mean, you know, I'm
talking about sentiment. I'm just going to be talking about
sentiment. Yeah. No, that's all good.
It's very rare that it is completely one-sided.
Sure. But right into here, though, this is what we're talking about. It's just, you know, being able to try to hold on to something, make the money that way, and, you know, just calling it all out for the shorts. And I know that some people, like, some days it's not right? We call the short and it goes back up to the other side of it. So that's why, you know, we're here to talk about it. And I always mention it, like, this is an extremely tough job when you're trying to, like, hold on to things and pick winners like that. It's there's a reason why it's something like 98% of the people that deposit money into a brokerage account trying to day trade will lose it all. And it's tough. I mean, you guys that have tried out on prop floors and things like that, I don't need to tell you how hard it is to become a successful trader. And you know, it's just watch us every day, hopefully try to learn. And I don't even, you know, I'm sitting here and somewhat successful, but, you know, there's a lot of money to be made that is left on the table, and there's a lot of money. And you guys don't see our P&Ls or anything like that, and we don't even, you know, talk really about that, but it's tough. It's really tough. And, you know, it's just one of those things where we're just average guys trying to make an average living. And honestly, man, it's sometimes you think about it, it's not as easy come as you think. So stay with us, man. Hit the subscribe, hit the like button, and hopefully together we can all just become better traders every single day, right? And I mean, that's the idea, as you mentioned,
right?
I
get that icky.
Who cares if you're green every day or red every day? You're trying to look at it, as Neil most infamously says, you know, look at it quarter over quarter or whatever, and figure out, you know, what your nets are at that point, you know, and whatever strategies you have, just keep on rolling them if they're working, and if they're not, get away from them, right? Like the IPO trade has been such a huge trade. And that really is like almost my whole year is SpaceX.
But it's not all IPOs.
You know,
I think that's the key thing, and I know we say this all the time. The IPO long trade is, I think part of the alpha is identifying which ones you're going to go for.
Oh, not every IPO.
Not because it's not every IPO. Because if you take every IPO long, it doesn't work out, and the ones that don't work are like rinse jobs, like that. What was the one we were just talking about?
Well, we would never take. I mean, you know, the only money I've ever made is on big ones.
That's what I'm saying. It's the big ones where you know the liquidity is going to be there. There was a Blinky had a great comment. he was just saying they were trading for, I was trying to find it, but I can't find it in the scroll now. I think it was Blinky was essentially saying they've been trading for a long time, and correct, it is absolutely not an easy thing to be a day trader. I also saw some comments saying, when you have the ability to learn on prop or sim, yeah. Like if you're just starting out, and the platform you're on or whomever you're with has a simulator, everybody starts on a simulator because you want to be able to figure out what you're going to do. And when you're figuring out your strategy, you might as well do it in sim. When you're figuring out how the platform works, how to throw orders out, like how to use stop orders, how to use trailing stops, like you might as well do that in sim. Like why learn those types of lessons for real? It doesn't even make any sense. It's one of the things I love about, I don't know, if you like you coach, and I know like one of the things I love about like really coaching now like young kids is like how great practice is for the kids that it's their first time playing, or like they've never played it before, and you can see that for them, if it's their first year, the kids that show up to practice are the ones that makes a huge difference. It's almost more important than the games. But that being said, we'll get back to the market for a quick second here. SLV just did the 50 hold. So LOD hold, there's the bounce, back through. I want to continue to play trend with this. I did miss one hump. It's kind of on the walk. Like when it broke back down under VWAP, I got back into it. Then it caught a reversal candle, so I got out, and then I went for the walk and then missed this trade. So the first available pop was this one into 50 and a half. The next bounce, for now, the trend would tell me like 50.30 to 50.40, but that's subject to change. I mean, it's a trend line, so therefore, if it continues sliding down, then the bounce starts moving, kind of like how VWAP would move. And then STND, that's that standard nuclear. So it broke the low and did not fall all over itself. There's a buyer at 90, so I just stuck some out in front of them because they're just a movable object at this point. And I'm even tightening up the stop. Like it's not moving. When an IPO on day one breaks the first even dollar underneath, like the expectation is that it just falls all over itself. So when that doesn't happen, then I'm not willing to risk as much. So I'm literally tightening the stop up because it's not going. Then we'll go hunt for something else. So out of SLV, and gonna look for the re-entry if we can grab it. Kind of have eyeballs on DRAM again, as it's still back at the lows. I don't think it gets into the volume weighted average price, so that might not be a bit of a thing. The frustrating one is, like I had a plan of action for Boyle that was very, very specific. It was whatever happens at 10:30, just take the break of the support level and then scalp it out. And then Boyle decided to defecate all over itself. But either way, that's actually coming back upside, so I might take a shot at this in through VWAP, because that's been trending down every single day. NatGas has been, I mean, it's not gonna, they reverse split all the time, but they reverse split, it goes down, it trends down. It's all the same thing. Like NatGas is out of control. And everyone, all our American viewers know the truth here. Like the supply of NatGas is just like through the roof. Like USA is producing more NatGas than ever. And it's just constantly more and more supply.
Yeah. I like NatGas, and right here SMR. I got to give. I have no idea how I have an out at $57. I actually got out of my position up here. I have no idea how that even happened that day. But yeah, all the way back in, we did buy a little bit more into this area. But yeah, SMR, looking and waiting to finally put some money back into this. It's finally starting to break down pretty low into $7 right now for SMR. Like that's been absolutely crushed. And I mean, just another name where if you put some money into this one, it's been getting just beat up like so bad over the last 2 months. Like this was $12, $13, like cut in half. I mean, there's a lot of names that cut in half, but SMR not looking good. Go with a better name, I think, in Oklo, if there was something that you're looking for. Still above the 200 period moving average on the weekly chart, and just today, like broke below this level as well. So all these names, as we talk about different energy plays, really getting hit there today. You know, the play that I like, CEG, is one that I've most recently bought, and it's trying to hold out pretty good. So we actually bought some at 300, then we bought some at 260. Remember, our average price was 280, so it's still underwater for me, but that's one that we're gonna have to wait for, try to buy it on the way back in, and we'll have to see where that goes from here. But CEG, not a horrible play, I don't think, anyways, moving forward on that. IREN, a lot worse. IREN is just more of you're trying to figure out if you're gonna be able to get some kind of a movement like this on IREN. Just trying to figure out what just printed over there. Oh, the futures are at the low of the day right now, so that's hopefully going to be a good trade moving forward. But yeah, IREN right there at 35 bucks. There could be some decent buying opportunities if this can get into here. But then you have that break as well, breaking back down below 32. These are all names. We are going to have Steve coming through soon, and we could talk to him about some of these longer term charting plays. But yeah, that's what we're doing right now. Another parallel channel coming up here on Robinhood. So
yeah, but it's only good if it holds.
Yeah, 106.60 right now on Robinhood. I mean, yeah, down 8% today. Just, again, like the structure is pretty good on this one. Like it holds there, holds again, and now you're kind of slipping up. So obviously, Robinhood's coming back in pretty nicely right now, into $100. I mean, that's where you want to see the hold. So I would say nothing's breaking down yet, but until we get into that $100 mark and you lose that, like you don't want to lose that last sort of area of support. And I just think psychologically 100
and the 200,
and then yeah, it's all about Bitcoin too, right? Bitcoin's battled back nicely there, and with more SpaceX trading, they're going to catch some more money on equity trading now, because there's been a lot of interest in SpaceX. There's been a lot of interest in, the declining moving averages here of many of these names, like a Micron or like a SanDisk. And I just think as traders tend to, get very excited about bids rather than offers. And, SanDisk, I feel like people aren't buying this on the way down. Maybe they're waiting for it to get into something, but we don't have too much of a relief rally. 2,200 down to 1,400 SNDK. Yeah, exactly. We can go over to Adara for this story if you want it. I mean, she'll tell it better than us.
Oh, the alphabet?
No, we just had someone asking another $2 here if you could maybe repeat the alphabet story.
Yeah, for sure. So basically there's a report, and I still haven't seen what outlet reported it, but basically there's a report that there are some internal concerns here about, I believe, some of the coding that's happening here with this Google Gemini, this 3.5 Pro AI model. And because of those concerns, this could be delayed by a number of months. And again, they're citing some internal disagreements. This is just a report. It's not confirmed, but that's why Google is to the downside. I hope that helps. Thank you for the super chat.
Yeah, I mean,
yeah,
it must help. If you
you wanted the story, you got it.
Yeah, if you can't find it, I think you'd be able to Google it and search it for this point. But yeah, I mean, Adara brought us this. Unfortunately, you couldn't really act on it. It's as soon as the news hit, obviously the algos get it, and breaks through that day low, or at least it was maybe not the day low. Yeah, I guess it was. Breaking through 369 there, just whoosh to the downside. That's a great breakdown trade, without the news. And then you get that little extra, oomph
I guess
to
sometimes
it as we crank down lower. I mean,
that
I
makes
think
it fall
Google's
more, I suppose. But
yeah, I would probably, but I would think that Google, I mean, obviously you can see the positions we have on short right now. Yeah, I'm short the market and I'm short SpaceX. And SpaceX just continues to be, for me, man, the belle of the ball. It's just huge moves down. We wrote down 136 today, and oh boy, did that hold right there into the downside. So SPCX, monster move lower there once again today, creating new all-time lows on SPCX.
All-time lows. Oh my goodness.
I think all-time lows maybe more tomorrow.
Should have listened to myself. The hilarious thing is I told my brother asked me, he was like, what should I do with my Rocket Lab and ASTS? And I was like, well, I mean, you want to sell the news before SpaceX.
Yeah, I thought we solved that.
And then he's like, well, so then should I buy SpaceX? But it was like, oh, no, wait a few months. And then what do? I already start buying SpaceX.
Yep.
Because I'm not a very patient person. I don't know, it's the ARM thing. I've said this before, like after ARM, I'm just gonna nibble in. If I want the stock, I'm always gonna nibble in early because I don't want to miss it completely. Salvador.
Yeah, but ARM you had like 8 months or something.
I'm so mad about that one.
That should be the reason why you don't buy it.
I shouldn't, but I was so mad at myself over ARM because I ended up getting into ARM at effectively like almost double the price that I should have, given that I wanted, and I hate myself over that one. Salvador. Yeah, I thought I did go over SLV, but I don't mind. So the simple thing is triple top this day and then trend down ever since. So it's like look net short, and then
that's why.
Typically speaking, if it's not like a pop and fail break of the high or trade into resistance, my first thought is, okay, it's trend down and I'm not in the trend in the pre-market. Does it fail a lower high and give you VWAP? Right, so there's your effectively there's your trend in the pre-market. It fails that, enter VWAP. It ends up bouncing off this trend line. Try it basically in here, which I don't like. That was sloppy, so we just get in and out flat. Then I'm looking at it holding this trend line here. When it breaks that, short VWAP again, basically the same thing. Miss that re-entry, and then I'm setting up what's the next trend. There's the next trend. It bounces into the trend line, go short, have set the stop, and then play it to the low of the day. Effectively, it's just that the stock is going down, and you want to short the pops. I got to get rid of some of these because what will happen is when I hit save, they just save there for days, and I don't really need them all. No, so when a stock is going down, just looking for general short setups. And you know what? I remember the first time I started looking at things that way for stocks that are trending down, not just stocks that are trending up. It was with one of those things that was going bankrupt, and I don't. It was it Beyond Meat? I remember there was. It wasn't Beyond Meat. It was Bed Bath & Beyond, whatever it was. There was one of them that after like this one day that it tried to squeeze, it just was like the slowest death.
Oh, it was probably Bed Bath & Beyond.
Yeah, I think it was Bed Bath, and it was like every single day it would try to go, and then it would just stair step to the downside. And it's like the most basic setups would work. The same way during the meme craze, you were just finding ways to go long the things that were going up every single day. The same thing applies there. We do now have our good friend, I believe.
But we're going to see it.
Oh, sorry. No, we're going to go up to the desk first. We've got Sia.
0.13% at the moment. Let's take a look at three individual tickers for now. GTS 0.70% to the upside. Not a crazy move here. Gray Media and the Atlanta Hawks have today announced a landmark broadcast partnership that will be bringing all non-nationality televised Atlanta Hawks regular season games to Gray Media's Atlanta broadcast television station. That's WANF, W-A-N-F. Atlanta's news first and Peachtree Sports Network during the 2026 to 2027 NBA season. ELVA, Electrovaya, is down 19% even after a strong buy rating by Raymond James. And SDRL, Sterling Infrastructure, is down 5%, continuing to slide to the downside, even though the company's e-infrastructure revenues have surged 174% year over year, driven by robust demand for site development services, contributions from the CEC acquisition, and continued momentum in mission-critical projects. STRL down 5%, ELVA down 19%, GTS up 0.70%.
All right. Well, thank you, Sia. But yeah, without any further ado, I just asked the chat, get your questions in there because Steve has returned. And we want everyone to start getting their questions set up for you, Steve, because you're a great reader, obviously, of the technicals, have some great ideas, and always are answering questions. What are you drinking over there?
I have questions.
Some free advertising. I guess it's a iced vanilla Red Bull. It's a new one for me. But.
Ooh,
iced vanilla?
Red Bull. Okay. Red Bull, not a public company, though, I do not believe, unless they're wrapped up with somebody, maybe Celsius, you could trade if you're looking over there. But how's the week been? Or I guess we haven't seen you in a couple weeks, maybe 2 weeks. So how you been? The market definitely seems like it's turned upside down a little bit here.
Yeah, apologies I couldn't make it last week, but I'm happy to be here. Happy to have a little bit of a breather. So SPY in general, kind of doing what we're looking for, having a lot of compression, just very tight action this week, as I think what we're waiting for are a few of the catalysts coming in today and into next week. So first off, we have Trump speaking tonight. I'm curious to hear what he says, curious to see if he can perhaps boost the market, or, I mean, God forbid, maybe that's what it takes to crack this tight consolidation, this kind of flag on top of a flag. So ideally, that plus Netflix earnings, both positive enough to get us some upward momentum into the big earnings coming in next week. But so far this week, the name of the game was survive bank earnings, survive CPI and PPI, both came in cool. So we're setting the stage for a big move, but I'm just hanging out here in the pocket, waiting to see which side cracks.
Yeah, we had Brian Shannon on Tuesday, and I was talking to him, and I brought up AMD, and I was like, you know what, man? I mean, all these AI names have really taken a hit, you know, and it's like Marvell's down from 330 down now to 180, you know, like absolutely crushed. And AMD was hanging out, and it's just a couple days ago when he was on, and you know, it was up here 550, 560, and then I was like, man, this is a name that I think I want to get out of because everything else has fallen back in, and we're still above the 50-period moving average. So, you know, the discussion that we had was basically, let's wait until it makes this move to really maybe get out of your long positions, because sometimes we panic out, and then the next day is a battle right back. So What are you thinking here on AMD? I mean, it's right at its sort of precipice here of 495, breaking below the 50-period moving average here on a daily. Do we need to take a longer look at this, or is it maybe time to ring the register, wait for a pullback to maybe get a little long? What's your opinion here on Advanced Micro Devices?
Well, this is a tough one, and I'm glad you're bringing it to the radar here. This is one of the most watched names that I'm seeing, both for bulls and bears, both for believers in the next leg of this AI infrastructure, AI build-out cycle, as well as those saying, hey, if there's one I want to short, this is the one. So what we're seeing is essentially a battle of two narratives. We're seeing this ascending triangle. It's been incredibly resilient. Kospi's gone down 30%. AMD stayed flat. Kospi's gone up 30%. It stayed flat. It's weathered a lot of this volatility while maintaining structure. Good news until it cracks, right? So now we are seeing the potential crack happening. And it might be that we're not actually seeing this ascending triangle. We're really seeing kind of a scalloped, rounded top that's starting to crack here. So for context, some of the other leaders, they've started to get this washout a little more severe. Same kind of look here for ALAB. They got the crack, the back test, and rolling off. In general, your semiconductors overall, it's a tough look. And I don't know about you guys, but this gives me flashbacks to maybe 3-4 years ago by now, when the tops were being put in on a lot of these semis. They looked like they were forming a pennant to break out. They even tried to do a little false break and then really got clobbered. And I'm just getting a little bit of the similar vibes here. So keeping the possibility of a bigger washout here in the chip space, just because we cannot seem to hold, and we are cracking these what look like now pretty confirmed as distribution ranges up here.
I just want to get out here. If you come to my screen, we're short the Nasdaq here with the TQs is the sort of the venue that I use, or the instrument that I use to do this, and we're right back to day's low. So I'm getting another piece out. Just want to give everybody that update there. So look, I mean, Steve, I think it's part of what's frustrating for most traders is, it's like this might happen. This is what's happening. You look at your portfolio and it's like, okay, a couple weeks ago, people were bullish on Marvell, and people were bullish on the DRAM ETF or SK Hynix that just came out, or forget about SpaceX, but SK Hynix obviously in the Kospi, so it's well traded as well. And then that's down again today. So much, and then 9%. It was up 27% 2 days ago, down 9% yesterday, down 11% today. So just kind of wiping out that whole move that we had just seen. Like, in your opinion, what is changing the rhetoric so much here? Like, how could we have basically nothing happen? I mean, I know we had TSM come out, but I thought TSM's earnings were actually pretty good last night, right? And that move happened yesterday before that came out. But why are we swinging like this? I mean, Micron's down here. Is it just a rotation into other names? Or is this, like you just mentioned there, are we seeing that top in basically the whole DRAM space? I mean, it's kind of like, if we've been holding the bags, what should we do? Do we continue to hold? Is there a pressure point where we say, hey, no more, and we tap out here? What is exactly your opinion here on a lot of these names? You can pick and choose any of those. And I know we just went over AMD and you sort of showed that, but it's just frustrating for a lot of traders because you sit in here and you hope this is going to hold, and then you come in the very next day, Steve, and you're down. That was $62 here 2 days ago on DRAM, and now it's 52. That's a decent hit for a lot of people's portfolios. So it's do you just grit your teeth and bear it, or do we just get out the minute something goes wrong?
Well, it's a great question, and I think it's really contingent upon where your entries are. So, pardon me, if you have caught a lot of this move, not to pat ourselves on the back, but with the ARM trade, this was a big component of my semiconductor exposure. So for me, I got stopped out of the very last chunk when it lost this 50-day with conviction. In general, that's how I like to play them.
Okay.
I don't want to be the guy who's selling the first day we sell or we close under our 9-day moving average after an amazing move up. I want to be the guy who's trimming, on the big surge, and then I can hold through a little bit of pain. That being said, I also don't want to be the jerk who won't ring the register when it's time. So for me, coming out from way down here at 160, it's very easy for me to say, hey, I will take an 100% gain on the last chunk there. And that doesn't feel so bad, right? If you entered up here, it feels pretty bad to take a 20% loss when you're trying to get involved with the trade that maybe you missed. And I think that's what it comes down to. This is not an easy trade anymore. The reason we liked it was down here when it was the easy trade, catching that 80%. We missed the very top, You know, I didn't sell it 450 like it says on my lines. I should have. I missed that. You know, I took that last tranche out $100 lower. And that's, I think, the reality of trading these high flyers. You're going to get slammed on one tranche of those unless you absolutely perfect it. So for me, and a lot of smart traders, I'm not seeing the smartest traders call a top or call, you know, anything other than, hey, time to ring the register. No longer an easy trade. Let's see where the easy money is. And I think that's what we're seeing, and probably is the primary driver of this move. I think it was just too much, too fast, and we need some more confirmation. We've kind of stretched that check writers to check cashers trade, if you know what I mean. Like, you have all the hyperscalers, they're writing these checks, all the chips, they're cashing them. At some point, it's just the jaws have opened too wide and they need to start closing. So what I have on screen here is IGV over SMH, the daily chart here. And to me, this is looking really constructive. To me, this is the easy trade now. Just taking a position in some longs in the the software space. So Microsoft, for me, a big one. I like some of the riskier ones like Fastly, just names that I think are holding up strong on a higher time frame because they're so much less extended. So guys, I don't necessarily even think that this means the market's going to keep ripping on up. We could have a real lot of chop into the end of the year. But what I do know is I'd rather be in the beatdown sectors that are just starting to show some love. And, you know, Microsoft's the easy button there. And that's how I'm expressing my risk on take here. Taking all the profit from semiconductors, leaving a tiny bit, but really nothing. And then putting it into those areas that I think will work a lot easier.
Okay.
I like that rotation.
Yeah, I mean, I think the simple, I mean, again, what a great answer. I mean, we were just talking about getting out, and you just gave us some more knowledge there about something you're trying to get into. Neil's going to ask you about Figma, so that's going to be right on that IGV. So I'm going to throw it over to him, but I think generally speaking, what you had mentioned there was 50, and it's just trying to get it back for the people in the audience there, Steve. Put Steve back on. Let's see what I'm talking to over here. There he is. I just wanted to say about the 50 period, right? You mentioned one word in there, once the 50 period on the day breaks with the big key word that you mentioned, conviction, right? So the minute you get that answer and it's definitely a break, start to exit some of your positions. So I think that was the answer that a lot of people were kind of looking for there.
Exactly,
so yeah, thanks, Steve, and we're going to throw it over to Neil.
Well, you know what? I'm not going to take any credit for this question because if we can throw this up here, this is from X2C in our chat right away the second you were on. Some questions came in. We want to make sure we get the viewers' questions. Steve, Figma inverse head and shoulders on the 1 day. That's on the daily chart. Figma inverse head and shoulders. What are your thoughts, Steve? And I'll just shut up and let you get to it.
Well, I'll be honest, this is not a name that I've looked at a ton. I do have some old lines in here. I don't really know what I was looking for here. What I will say, I see potential double bottoming happening. Usually I'll start with a weekly chart on something like this. And to me, this looks like a name that's probably washed out just about as much as it needs to. These are always tough post-IPO. You know, it'd be easy to try to catch a bottom here at 35, maybe at 20 here, and then we need to kind of just keep on chopping. But what I will say, I'm liking that these oscillators are starting to look constructive. We've got some uplift on the weekly there. We'll check in with the daily there as well. Still room higher, but it's kind of this grind. So I don't think this is going to be a straight shot, just screamer here to 50. But I think this is a good place to look for positions, look for your spots off of these key moving averages. You see it gave one today off that 9 moving average at about 22.69. It seems like it's consolidating in an upward manner in kind of the elbow, the kind of right side of this. Let me draw it for you. Potential W pattern here. So if we do get this W pattern, then this is one of my favorite areas to get involved, somewhere around here after it's kind of confirmed this bottom, or at least a midterm bottom. The idea is you get involved here on the confirmation through in the back test of the neckline. You can add. This is something I don't see people doing with this. They're selling this first tap, which is fine, but I'm more interested in accumulating a stronger position if it's something I have conviction in. Then I think that we do have a lot of targets up ahead. I'd love to take some off at 30 and then hold some for the bigger move because I think a lot of these names are putting in a bottom.
Going down.
I think that's a great answer, and I want to thank you. I want to thank you for that. But I got another one. I don't have it something to do with the old-fashioned way. This is from Drew Farrell, and they're asking, "What do you think about drone stocks?" But I want to hold that thought for a quick little second because I also want to expand on something. Whoops! I was just looking at Hood. That has nothing to do with anything. Okay. You had mentioned you had just mentioned rotation, right? And you talked about the IGV. So drones, defense could be one place. We've already seen the banks look pretty good. Healthcare, there's some names that are interested. So the first part is I want you to get to Drew. What do you specifically think of drone stocks? Is there one you like? But is there also somewhere else other than the IGV and software where you're seeing a potential place for rotation out of those chips and into something else?
I have an answer, but I don't think people are going to like it.
Got to be real.
I got to be real. I got to be real. And drones, it's looking tough on the ones I'm watching. I'm just keeping tabs on RCAT. Pardon the messy charts here. These are definitely ones I've traded a good amount in the past. I'm not seeing any reasons to believe that the bottom is in for these yet. We'll pull up one more here. Kratos, KTOS. Amazingly explosive stocks, but they haven't come. They're kind of in no man's land for me. You know, they're kind of just drifting here. So if we get hammered back down here, I'm a lot more interested. We can also check out, what is it? DFENS, I believe, is going to be DFEN. There's the ETF. And to me, this is not looking like something that's necessarily ready to lift off into the next leg. If anything, it looks kind of in the middle. So I can't say for sure that I like these plays. What I do like, and it's in a similar vein, you know, if we are going to get more volatility, more potential geopolitical fracture here and risk, I mean, I still think that it's a good time to be buying energy. I think energy on a higher time frame perspective looks very, very strong. Here's Chevron with a massive cup and handle here, starting to break out back test and seems very strong. If we just check in with oil in general, it's a little bit spooky, guys. It's a little bit spooky. You'd hope that this would have gotten stamped out last week. Instead, we've broken a lot of key levels. And I do think that we got to entertain the possibility with the leading sector in chips looking this week and with energy looking this strong. Meanwhile, I don't really know what the heck's happening over in the Strait of Hormuz, but it doesn't feel like we're getting the full picture. This could lead to oil being sustained higher for longer and potentially spiking even higher than it was a couple months ago. So that's what I'm looking at for the potential barbell here. I also have a lot of a lot of healthcare. It's boring, so that's not the first thing I wanted to talk about, but I also have a decent chunk in healthcare, biotech, and medtech devices. So if you want exposure there, IHI, that's the ETF, and I think this one, on a high time frame, this is a good place to look for money to flood into as well, similar to the biotech trade that we saw over the past month or so. That's what I'm thinking.
Did you just call don't tell me you just called bio and healthcare boring. Boo. I don't.
Not biotech.
Biotech, you consider that boring? I don't know, man. Like, I think healthcare has gotten, how can it possibly have a bad rep? The names that I love are all doing
Oscar Health, let's go.
I'm like,
Oscar,
what are we talking about? UNH just reported earnings. That was
don't
huge.
upset Oscar the Grouch over
We
here.
love Eli Lilly. If we're going BioPharm, AVAV's been going. J&J's been giving you a great pullback.
Steve, you've clearly upset Neil over here. I think the biggest thing to do would just be to apologize.
No, it's not that. It's just I don't think I've heard anybody call them boring before. Really?
Well,
I like them. They're good
fired up
gamers.
I've seen you. I love this. I think I put myself on blast more than anything. I'm a little boring in my holdings. I got a whole bunch of Eli Lilly, and I'm not leaving. I know what I got, and I'll sell in the high 1,000s, not these low 1,000s. So boring for me as I wait for that big breakout. But fair enough. Good points being made there.
No, I'll take it because I like having some boringly upward sloping stocks in the portfolio. I think they're absolutely fantastic. But I'm gonna get back to Robinhood because we gave some viewer questions that we got in there, and we did actually have one about Robinhood in this channel, super chat, before you came on. Now this is a case where here I'm just gonna draw that so you can see, everyone can see the upward sloping. Robinhood had a long accumulation on the pullback, and then it's been in this nice upward channel. Everything seems to be dipping a little bit. What's interesting here is it's had a disconnect from Bitcoin. Right, so Bitcoin went sideways and did nothing, and it was able to go up. It's broken above both the 50 and the 200. However, it's still a downward sloping 200 period moving average. So my question to you would be, and I just want to get your thoughts here, this is in a clean upward trend where it's bounced every single time, and you've got clear support at the major moving averages. This looked like a buy the dip type of spot for something like a Robinhood to you, or will you just be happy that this name is giving you what it can and take your 30% or 40% and run?
Well, no wrong answers here. And again, I think it comes down to entry. If you sniped the bottom off the 70, I would be ringing the register to some extent. We're back up to the middle point of the new handle range. But notice I said handle range, guys. I think this is just starting. And I think this also really loops back into our idea of where the money is rotating into greatly, because this is fintech. Fintech has been kind of beat on in the past year. Hood was the strong leader, and it still took a 50% haircut. Where did it really go down to, though, guys? Kind of just rechecking in with the swing high from the IPO.
Yep.
I think this is a beautiful chart. And what's really helping me believe in this leader is, well, even the laggards, even the unlovables are getting some play. PayPal's been our best trade of the month so far, and this has just been a screamer off 45. Of course, we got the help with the Stripe potential acquisition. They gave an offer at $60 per share. But I think that just, again, shows the appetite in this space. I think institutions are recognizing, man, why the hell is PayPal $45? Let's buy some of this, And I think that can transcend or, carry over to the leader. I love Hood. I think it's a $400 stock. Just give it a couple years.
Wow. I hope Robinhood does it. If you're talking about Robinhood there, I believe in it too. And you cheated by going to the weekly chart, so I'm not going to bother doing that now. Thanks, Steve, for stealing a bit of the thunder. Look, we have had user questions, John had questions for you. You've taken everything we've thrown at you and been able to handle it, of course. But is there anything that's on your mind? We're going into earnings season. Any names that you want to get to us before we get you out of here that you haven't had a chance to talk about? Yeah, really quickly. Just going to run over a few mega caps. I think mega cap rotation is super hot right now. It's kind of like, what is it, Zoolander? It's so hot right now. So I like these as this easy rotation along with software in general. And hey, why not double up with the Microsoft exposure there? So a few more to put on your radar there real quick. That's Mag 7 kind of doing a nice breakout over the horizontal and downtrend line. Meta, that's my favorite. I love this one. I want to buy it at the 200 when everybody else is scared, thinking the breakout's failed. I think this is an amazing play, and I love that they're in the neocloud space. Meta, that's number one. But I gotta shout out Netflix, guys, because we're doing an earnings special report today, starting in, well, as soon as I get off here, I'll be back on Trade the Pool. That's where I work for. We'll be talking Netflix, giving you a nice presentation going into earnings, telling you exactly what we're looking for on the fundamental side as well as the technical side. I'll give you a sneak peek, though, guys. I would love this bread and butter setup for me. The prior swing high, major swing high, aligning with a rising 200 week, and you buy the panic of everybody else thinking these names are in the dirt. So that's what I did with Microsoft. That's what I did with IGV. I would love to add Netflix to that cohort this week on a flush and reclaim of the 200 week at $70. If you want more information, guys, you can find us over at Trade the Pool, starting just after I hop off here. Well, thank you very much, Steve. Thanks once again. Actually, one last one. What's the hat?
San
Francisco? But I haven't seen that style.
Yeah, got to represent the citrus. Guys, I don't know if you know, but us Cali folks, we're putting the economy on our back here, mostly in the produce sector there. So got to shout out to my farmers.
There you go. Steve Talman.
Definitely not with Silicon Valley these days, I guess.
No, it ain't.
Kind of throwing us in the dumpster there. But yeah, shout out to the Giants. Great team. Would love to get to
Great
that
stadium.
part. That's for sure.
It looks gorgeous. I've never been.
Go swimming there and catch some home runs. But thank you, Steve. I'll make sure that everybody goes and joins you. Thank you so much. They probably won't join you till after 4 o'clock, but you never know. It's Trade the Pool. It's Steve Talman. Thank you so much. And the information, we can't get enough of it. Come back whenever you want it, Steve. Thank you so much, my friend. Ciao.
Appreciate it.
Thank you so much. We'll have to catch a Giants game next time you're out.
I love it.
If I'm ever in San Francisco, it's on the bucket list. It's on the bucket.
Don't tell us twice. Okay, We'll be there. There it is, man.
Big thank you to Steve.
Meta. Again, a great job there. Well, the thing about it is, this is the kind of stuff. This is why I like Steve. This guy actually, puts it out, makes some calls, and not just like wishy-washy with what his decisions are here. Like he likes it it's a pullback, right? So he needs it. He was talking about pulling it back into the 200. He likes that call. We just broke through it. And that's kind of the stuff you're looking for, right? A sloping up 50 period moving average. So Meta's the call for him. And then also Microsoft. And I do have to say, like Steve was, again, talking about, we hadn't seen him in 2 weeks for sure. So it was at least 2 weeks ago, because I remember Microsoft was on his radar. So great call there as we break up back through 400. And I really do like the whole, IGV possibility there for a rebound. I'm thinking myself too, Palantirs of the world, Microsofts. And we talked about Copilot earlier, and we're just kind of playing around with it because Joe has been talking about Copilot for a minute. So, Microsoft, could be part of that equation there, as well as the IGV today with the Nasdaq down 1.7%. I don't normally do those kind of charts where he had the one against the other there. So that was pretty cool to see that. So thanks for that, Steve.
The chart I was talking about was for the software names was really more just look at their price versus their revenue growth.
Yeah.
Plot those. And if you look at like the names that have diverged the most, it's all of the best software names. Basically, like you're not going to find it's Microsoft, it's Palantir, it's ServiceNow. At one point, it was also like CrowdStrike and Palo Alto. That's no longer true.
Adair's got Adobe as a short for one of her ideas, so I think the market could still, obviously break lower there as well.
I don't really like Adobe.
The thing about Adobe is, it's more than just a software name. It's like their software is being basically shot at like every single day. Like I open up the Grok app on my phone and it's instantly like, hey, would you like us to make like, an animated picture of your sticky note or something? It's like, what the? So it's all, exactly, what the? So it's just stuff like that keeps on getting.
Meta's coming at them too. Before we go up to Adair, I just want to give a quick update. I tightened that stop on STDN. It just, the flat bottom break didn't go anywhere. See it consolidate, so we just jumped out. Got slipped by 1 cent, so that's actually not that bad.
I know you haven't lost any money on it, but I just want to give another point to it. You mentioned about, making money today, and it's just funny that the two names that basically you've lost on, and it's not a lot of money, but are these IPOs that we had said we don't really like these IPOs.
But I only went short them.
Yeah, no, it's okay. And
it's a very different trade
than what we're used to.
Just taking like a short trade, then taking the opening print and trying to grab that. This is just a regular momentum trade.
Yeah.
It is a break of the low with a stop at the prior low and a consolidation. Like that's regular, normal stuff. Like to me, the IPO trade is, gimmick's the wrong word, but in some ways it's the right word. It sits in a category of itself because you're not going to find an IPO open trade replicated much of anywhere. Like the only thing that comes close to it would be like maybe like a closing imbalance trade. Back in the day when people used to trade like the jobs report at 8:30, when before when people could actually do that, and now like, it's death to do it the way that some traders used to do it at 8:30. You just get smoked. But yeah, like it's a very gimmicky liquidity event moment kind of deal. But there's one thing happening I want to jump to. We're going to go to Adera. This is what I actually wanted to get into. Lucid is pulled back. Oh, sorry, it's going to be to Sia.
Wow, Neil.
As I've said before, it is the highest of compliments that it's just muscle memory and it's completely seamless that Sia has joined the news desk. But Lucid is at VWAP. Once it fails it, I'm going short. Let's go to Sia.
It's okay, Neil. I'm sure that you will get there one day. The SPY is currently down 0.69%. Let's take a look at the sectors. Electric tech, NVIDIA is continuing to slide down almost 3% on the day, but Apple holding a stronger momentum, up 2% on the day. AVGO, MU, AMD, INTC chip names seem like they're having a rough day today. Had a rough day yesterday. You have GE, SNDK, Marvell, WDC all sliding down. MU is down 6.4%, Marvell down 9.11%, and WDC 10.3%. Tech services, Google also continuing to lag a lot over there, down 4.5%. Meta's down 2.5%. Microsoft is up close to 2%. Oracle is down over 5.5% here. Palantir and Netflix trading flat on the day. You have PANW on the downside, 0.60% at the moment precisely. You have IBM, IBM not looking bad today, 3.4%. They'll be reporting next week, so we have to look out for that. Finance, BRKB trading flat with BAC-EXP, while JPM is down 1%, and Visa, MasterCard still holding the same momentum they were earlier in the trading day, up over 2% on the day. MS and GS both continuing to slide more than 5% on the day. Citi is also down very close to 2%. For retail trade, we have Amazon down 1.2%. Walmart, Costco, Home Depot, TJX looking strong today, looking pretty good look over here. We have producer manufacturing where you have names like AMAT, CAT, LRCX, GEV having a bit of a bearish day. LRCX down by 5.3%, whereas Triple M is up by 1%. You have ITW up 3.8%, in PCAR up 2.4%. Transportation, consumer non-durables. Let's talk about this sector. It looks like one of the strongest sectors on the S&P 500 today, with all the names as the bull today. KO is up 2.7%, PG up 1.8%, PM is up over 3.5%, PEP is up very close to 3%. We have health services, UNH reporting their earnings up 1.5%. ELV, however, down 4% on the day. Energy minerals also looks like a strong sector today, with XOM CVX up over 8%. Health tech as well, seeing pretty strong sectors here for today if you exclude electric tech, but that's okay. We have health tech, Lilly and J&J both on the upside of 1%. J&J up a bit over 1%, whereas ABBV and MRK are up over 3% on the day, and ABT soaring over 10% on the day. Industrial sector services, you have WM up 4% and PWR down 3%. And with that, you have transportation. Finally, UNP up 3.6%, Uber up 1%, UPS up 3%. However, Dash and UAL not having the best day, with UAL down 2.5% and Dash also down 2% on the day.
DoorDash.
Hate to be Moderna. That's all.
Yeah, that was the only. And here's the earnings. Someone was asking for the earnings report list that's coming through here today, right? And so, yeah, it's not too complicated here. We had in the pre-market GE, United Health, and Abbott. We could definitely have a look over there and see how those names are moving for you. No problem. Alphabet's down 5% right now, and it's down to it's getting crushed. Maybe we should go back to that in a minute. There's Netflix, Alcoa, and Intuitive Surgical. So all these names coming tonight with nothing in the morning, and then we get it going next week. I don't know, Adair, if you have next week's calendar up yet.
So Sean, I always post it just for everybody here is watching as well. The daily calendars go usually 3 p.m. the day before. So the calendar for tomorrow came out at 3 p.m. today. The weekly calendars, so they come out at 3 p.m. on Friday. So it's actually done. I've already scheduled it. I've already started working on the daily calendar for next
I want
week.
it now. I want it now.
I can pull it up for you, but it's not going to be released, though, until tomorrow. But I will give you a sneak preview because we're here and I have it ready. This is the weekly calendar for next week. It's actually not that crazy for earnings. I thought it'd be a little bit crazier. Wednesdays of note here, obviously Tesla, IBM, Google, ServiceNow, Texas Instruments. But other than that, nothing like too wild. Intel the day after Tesla, as is usually the case. So that's the weekly calendar, guys. And the daily calendar for Monday, because you might be like, oh, you said 3 p.m. Yeah, so the daily calendar on Monday comes out at 3:30 p.m., so half an hour after the weekly calendar is released tomorrow.
Man, I might hide under a rock there. Wednesday, Thursday, man, you've got Intel on Thursday. Wednesday, you got Tesla and you got Google and IBM, and it's just going to be, that's why I wanted to get that going there. Thanks, Adair, not to ruin the work there. But yeah, tomorrow at 3 p.m. will be posted there. I just wanted to see, because next week is going to be huge. And we did see, by the way, let's go. Thank you so much to Ronnie and everybody in the chat saying that we had good stamina on most of these trades here today, and including this short. And I was waiting for the 200 period moving average, which is this green line. And, now we can change it. I mean, we put this on at the beginning. I'm just trying to show that it's possible. Scalping in and out is fine, but it's not really profitable at the end of the day. Sometimes you got to have, these bigger moves. And I just, this is from experience. I've been here 25 plus years, and I'm trying just to be as honest and as real as I can be with everybody. It's very, very hard, especially nowadays, to try to battle some of those algos, because if you're just scalping out for 10 or 20 cents, most of the time you get run on some of those news pieces. And next thing you know is you can lose that 20 cents just because the market decides to do one thing. And especially with Trump these days and about oil and everything like that, you got to be very, very specific on your plays and have your stops out there, because they can get run, And so for me, it's been widening the stop a little bit there. And again, I'm taking out, I only have a small piece left. It's taking out, when key levels are hit, and especially when it goes 2 to 1. Or so, this stop at 137, we talked about 137.50, right? And so our first takes here, this is 136 area where we started. That's at $1. So those are all 2 to 1, and then you come into 3, 4, 5 to 1, and now it's 10 to 1. So, but at the end of the day, that's what I'm trying to do. And even the same thing with these TQs, right? It's reload, get stopped out when we're wrong. And sometimes when you get stopped out when you're wrong, you get out, and it's kind of okay, we could have re-engaged that one at least. So it's just about trying to be patient, trying to do the best thing that we possibly could. And now Fabian is testing a microphone beside us. But without any further ado, Ozan, man, don't ask me for any more cow animations, okay, my guy over there. I won't be like Joe, all on his feels over there and ban people. But Ozan right there, one of our good friends
Joe is crazy.
Coming through there. Yeah, Joe is the new chat sort of moderator over there. So you got to be careful when he's on the ones and twos. But right now it's Adara, and we missed him yesterday, and he came back all dressed up over there.
So fresh, so clean.
Now he's just like, you know what, man, I'm going to show these guys what's going on over here, and I'm going to wear a jacket, says one. So how's it going, Fabian? Oh, I'm switching mics over here? Okay. Let's go back over to one.
All dressed up and nowhere to go, but to go through these charts here, we're going to talk about the Asian market because it's been a pretty crazy week of volatility, especially for Kospi. So one's going to take us through this.
Yes, thank you, Adara. Yeah, definitely a very volatile week in Asia right now. I mean, second last day of the week, we see a lot of tech hardware de-risking and returning to Asia, as well as a lot of DRAM oversupply anxieties and AI fatigue, triggering a major capital exodus. You mentioned about the Kospi. They pretty much took the brunt of it, all right? They were plunged by around 6.37%. That's dropping below that of the 7,000 baseline. Horrible. We got SK Hynix down by 11.58%. Even Samsung down by nearly 9% overnight. Other than Kospi, we also had Japan, North Asia pretty much in terms of tech all the way down. Nikkei 225 dropping nearly 2.8%, but some of the big names such as Tokyo Electron, they were down by 3.9%. SoftBank Group down by 6.3%, as well as Advantes down by 5.3%. But let's hope for a better open tomorrow. So let's see what should we look out for in terms of the Asian Open. All right, so TSMC, that was one of the big news yesterday, their earnings. Got to monitor how regional chip makers price in that of TSMC's blockbuster Q2 earnings. Given that there was a little bit of volatility in terms of US ADR pricing, watch for a tech short squeeze as well as sell defect pullback, especially in Taiwan. Now, Kospi, 6,800 support level. That's, of course, after dropping below 7,000 last night. Watch if institutions defend that 6,800 baseline at the open, or if there's any retail margin liquidations triggering a deeper gap down in South Korea. And then in Shanghai, try keep a lookout for the People's Bank of China liquidity operations. We know that Shanghai Composite is now at their 3-month low, especially on weak GDP growth, those prints coming out. So see if there's any reverse repo volumes or reverse requirement ratio, reserve requirement ratio, the RRR cut signals, whether they can defend that 3,850 support level. And over in India, okay, so they had a little bit of a gap down in terms of financial and real estate. See if that profit taking spills over into Friday. A clean break below that of 24,000 could trigger some automatic selling, and your next support in the Nifty 50 would be around 23,850.
Lots of levels and markets to look at in the Asian session. We'll hear all about it tomorrow at 3:30 p.m. You can also join us with one at 11:30 a.m. to talk about the European markets. Back to the guys.
Juan on fire as usual. Good to have him back, looking fresh and clean, giving you the goods. The Kospi is always going to be, it's going to be a topic for a while now because there's nothing is going to change with the Kospi. It's the volatility is through the roof that they're changing the rules mid-game. With basically some of these leveraged ETFs for Samsung and SK Hynix, but there's not much you can do about it. The entire market is those two stocks, and the volatility is going absolutely nowhere when it comes to SK Hynix. And I don't know, it's now been 2 days in a row, and I haven't traded that stock. I don't know, because by the way, trend came in again on SLV, so there's the wick of the trend. Didn't have a very clean opportunity to grab it there because it fell down, but there was more of a clean topping tail and underneath, so stopped there, played into the low. But as far as SK Hynix does go, I think we see the defend of 150. I think we determined it was about 150, like 151's the actual low. But anyways, 150, same thing on Friday, tomorrow. So I think we see that 150 level. It's set up for, a break. The problem is it's down 12% today, and it was probably down double digits yesterday. So tomorrow it's going to be SSR. So that 150 break on SK Hynix, you can set it all you want, but whether you get it is going to be the real question mark. So I plan to look for the breakdown. I don't know how much I'll cross 24 hours in advance, but a 150 break on this does seem at least a little bit inevitable. And the other way to play it is to just just go for DRAM. The DRAM's not going to have an obvious level. Oops, that's still on the, DRAM doesn't have an obvious level. There's 50 psychologically, but that breakdown already happened. So looking pretty nasty, but I think tomorrow we get a chance for that. It's not an all-time low. It's the, we'll call it the issue low, because I can't really call it an IPO. The issue low on SK Hynix tomorrow, I think we grab that.
Yeah,
I
have it there, Fabian. He wants to go through the stock picks again here. I thought there's stock portfolio tracker. Oh my God, there's so many. I have to refresh this thing, I guess, now. There's so many names on here now, isn't there, Randy, Fabian? So we're all in here. Okay, this is all. Oh, you've been testing something here. Current value. What, Randy? Starting at 10,000, now 121,000? What is going on over here? I don't know if this is right yet. If we go over to the. Oh, it's starting from a year ago. Oh, because he had SanDisk. That's why. Yeah. So this is also, it definitely is working right there. So if you go over here to stock ranking, you'll be able to see what all these, these are okay right here. Wow. All right. So yeah, technology. So this is good.
Oh, I like that.
Good sectors. Yeah, everything that what our picks are and how they're performing and average return by sectors. So I think a lot of names are going to be in the tech sector. But yeah, great job, Fabian, so far as we continue to go on. So far, I've made. I'd mentioned to Fabian that was going to be Micron was going to be one of my picks. So we'll do that. Wow, I should have invested in that last year. Look at that, 21,000 there for Micron. So we'll stick with Micron, but I'm going to announce another pick right now, and it's a name that I've been talking about for a minute, and they reported yesterday it's Johnson & Johnson. I mean, so far to join with Micron, I think we got a good opportunity to get some Micron demand. I mean, Micron, we've been talking about this. Micron sold out into 2027. I like the demand side for Micron, and the supply continues to be a problem. I think Micron's going to be a winner. I'm going to take that in the portfolio. I mean, everyone else taking SanDisk and all these crazy things. So I got to take a Micron to see if that can go. And again, I like Micron better than SK Hynix simply because you don't have to worry about outside risk, right? This is a local, American company. I like Micron for those reasons. What just happened to SpaceX? Broke through 132. That's it. End that trade. Spin it. Right there, SpaceX, one of the top stocks today, obviously, as it takes it out right there at the 200-period moving average. But Johnson & Johnson, just to get something consistent in the portfolio, a name that's, continuously raising the dividend upside, right? They got the oncology now. They've got, from what I've been reading, a great pipeline to go for Johnson & Johnson. So I'm going to take J&J, big move higher. Whatever, we're making the picks today, and I'm just going to go with.
Pull back in the price.
Yeah, I'm just going to go with whatever. Obviously, price happens tomorrow. I mean, we have to. But Johnson & Johnson, I liked it down here. I like it up here. I think we get hit on their quarter. That'll be brought back to the upside. So I'm going to go with Johnson & Johnson as my fifth pick coming tomorrow.
Well, I hinted, I kind of got caught while we were talking to Steve already looking at the chart. So if you didn't guess it, number 4 for me was Robinhood. That's why I brought it up with Steve. So let's, look, all the reasons we already talked about. And then he pulled up the weekly chart on Robinhood before I even got a chance to show you guys that little, a bull, like he calls a cup and handle, bull, whatever you want to call it, but pulling right back into the pre-IPO high and going. But we didn't do a poll. Something's reporting tonight, and its name is Netflix. So very quickly, we did a poll yesterday and it was about the Mag 7s, but hey, we have earnings tonight. So everyone in the chat, here's what you're going to do. It's very simple. You're going to type 1 if you think Netflix goes to the moon, which really we're just talking about a good-sized up move. 2 if you think it's going to be flush city for Netflix, which is what it's been doing lately. Or 3 if you think it's an absolute nothing burger and only those selling options are going to be happy because everyone's going to get rinsed because it's going to do nothing. So 1, 2, or 3. Keep it simple, everybody. We'll leave that one up into the close, which is only 27 minutes away. Okay, didn't even do the early look in the balances. So get your votes in. Netflix is either the belle of the ball or, I don't know, it's going to be the bane of our existence when it's down 10% tomorrow. I own Netflix. That's why I'm saying bane of our existence. So I can say mine. Quickly, early look imbalances. RKT, 3 million sell. Kenvy, who cares? Goro, what is GORO? I see something on the Amex, and I just kind of get interested in it if there might be a closed trade. So Gold Resource Corporation on the Amex, and it's a penny stock, so who cares? HPE, 2 million sell. CNQ, 2 million to the buy side. That would be the IPO at 130. Who cares? Soxel, that's pretty small for Soxel, only 850,000. So nothing too crazy on the early looks. Maybe, or I guess RKT for 3 million shares would be somewhat decent there. Oh, easy peasy. There we go. Just saw the super chat. Hungover, followed Sean Apple, Neil Short, DRAM, 1K. Shout out to you, easy peasy. Why are you hungover? Good night last night?
Yeah,
maybe watching. Well, I don't know. Maybe you're watching the game and celebrating.
Kids, this guy don't got kids.
I don't know. I'm hungover from the disappointment of England last night. That's my.
Yeah, good look there on Apple. I mean, Apple just absolutely ripping. I mean, I wish I would have obviously held on to that, but we got a lot out on the way up and just held a little bit and got stopped out there when we took VWAP. And there goes Apple, man, new all-time highs. I'm actually going to scrap that Micron pick. I'm not going to pick Micron into that. So I'm going to come up with 2 more picks for you guys tomorrow. I was really close to potentially doing Palantir as a play. So let me look at some more charts here today. I just think for Micron for the next 6 months, it's convenient, obviously, that we're choosing. I'm glad we're doing this before the earnings come through for all these mega cap names. I just a little nervous here, and I think that Micron, I don't want to take a name for a 6-month trade or anything like that does have so much more downside. Now, I think the upside's there. It's not that I don't like it. It's just we only have 5 names, and this one may continue to do something that we don't like, and that's of course making more lows based on whatever we hear from those CapEx numbers. I just think it's so sensitive to that if I would make a play in the space, it would be here. ETF. It would be with DRAM because at least then you get a little bit of everything else, but still, it's still the same reason why not to do it. It's risky, and it's nothing wrong with risk. I mean, we want to put on some risk. I've already got QCOM, which I think at a 17 PE is good for that, and I think that there's some other angles there that can work for them, including autonomy of vehicles there. I really, really like Qualcomm as opposed to the rest of these names. So I'll talk my way in and out of it, and maybe tomorrow I'll take Micron again. But we definitely have to have them locked in by tomorrow at this time. So, okay, we are going to go to SIA Money Talks, but I mean, right now, man, the market is at the lows, and we're just starting to, every 50 cents, man, I'm just taking more out. So, trying to do the best by holding this, going to the downside right now. So here we go, downside right now. Hey, Mike, how's it going there? It's nice to see you. Mike back in the building. Good to see you, my friend, as we go. But okay, downside play continues here in the Nasdaq. Not a great day, down 2%. It's guess who? It's SIA at the big desk.
Oh, I see how you got it right.
Got to get it right.
John, you got my name right. Yay. Let's take a look at the dollar. Slightly higher compared to earlier today, trading around the 100.74 to 100.778 region right now, up roughly between the range of 0.18% to 0.29%, looking not too bad over here. Open near 100.47 to 100.51 area and climbed throughout the day on stronger than expected economic data, also including the weaker jobless claims report that came in. So there was a drop in the jobless claims. Good look over there. Dollar, you have 0.28% towards the upside.
Thank you very much there, Sia. As always, I get the name right too.
That's just because you heard me get it right. That's why.
Look, first of all, don't even act like I don't know the way that you said he's going to Sia.
Exactly.
That's as you should. That's
trying to prove a point over here. That's what, just like I said in the chat over here.
Okay, just heard something drafting.
Yeah,
you hear that?
Just Netflix. DraftKings. What's going on?
I'm just hearing something drafting.
Oh, okay. We can check out DraftKings. Netflix was getting a little bit of a bid here into the close. So you're seeing Netflix go from $73.50 all the way up to $74 right there. The market's not doing anything, but Netflix is. I just want to bring that to everyone's attention there. It's interesting that Steve, man, I think if we had a call for Steve to make his picks, I think he sounded pretty bullish there for Netflix.
He's bullish Netflix, Microsoft.
Yeah, some of the IGV, I guess.
IGV in general.
Over there. So, okay, so we got CompuTronNet over there talking about DraftKings here, suing the state of Philadelphia. Okay, not really sure why. Have they maybe they're not operating Philadelphia yet, and who knows, but State of Pennsylvania, yeah, Philadelphia. Someone wrote in there Philadelphia, but yeah, maybe it's the city, or I don't know if it's the state of Pennsylvania, but yeah, so I know DraftKings not operating in Texas, I believe in Florida as well. So right now, yeah, Pennsylvania, I don't know if it's, I just read what was in the chat there. Maybe it is going to be, it has to be statewide, right? I mean, why would a city, why, I don't know why anybody would sue DraftKings, so we'll have to get that story in a minute, but downside right now, and Adair does all that work with the attorney generals and all these things starting to sell off, in different states doing this and that. So I wonder, Pennsylvania, I know on the eastern seaboard there, they tend to get a little excited about suing different companies for different reasons.
I mean, New York was actually tied for first when I made the visual. They have actually now shot into a heavy first place, even above the incredibly litigious Ken Paxton, AG of Texas. So I mean, they're you know, Letitia James over there is making sure the lawsuits are getting filed.
Well, people got to get paid, right? I mean, if these poor elected officials had nothing to do, then maybe they wouldn't get elected anymore, right? And so it's just like, that's part of what has to happen, man. You gotta build up your portfolio.
Shout out to elected officials who enter politics, get a modest salary, and leave it still with the wealth of everyday average citizens that have that level of salary. I think that is like one of the biggest litmus tests for like ethics. It's like, find somebody that did that. I didn't even know if that exists, but if someone does. Here, so X2C, I should say, is FCell a hold overnight? I'll say this, when we asked about FCell before, we were asked about FCell. I asked Adara, I looked up, I couldn't see the story here. So it's just kind of like down 15% for no reason. And then there's like the 50-period break, the breakdown. So you're long FCell, like if something is down like this and trend breaking, I don't like it. Unless like the reason it was down is something I think is fugazi. Like maybe that would give me a reason, but you know, I can't say that I'm a fan here. Because I don't know the stock really that well. I think Sharif probably at least is in it, so might have some real thoughts about it. But for me, it's a trend break already in the 50 that just lost support and did so without a major news story that I was able to find. So like, let it base out or find a bottom. Not a gigantic fan here. There was I saw a couple people in the chats like, can we go over Alphabet again? If you're wondering what's the big thing that happened that still caused the market to drop, Alphabet delaying the launch of Gemini 3.5, possibly by months. And I mean, it's tried to bounce a couple of times, but it's still going lower. It just bounced 352 is now the low. I think at its worst point, we're down 5% here on Alphabet. So not a good look for Alphabet this afternoon. It's been pretty nasty, specifically for them. It's been nasty for a lot of stocks, but for the last last hour or so, it has been them. West Palm Beach trades. Your outlook on the Nasdaq 100 forward contract and NQU for the next week. Oh boy. I'm not trying to predict earnings. I think as a day trader, like the job is to come in and sort of feel like, what do you like that day? What do you think is the direction? And effectively try to go from there. My overall thought right now is I'm generally thinking short till, I'm thinking chips are short till prove otherwise. I'm thinking metals are short till proven otherwise. I'm thinking that no longer, I don't actually think that about Bitcoin anymore because it's shown relative strength the last little bit. But you know how quickly that could change? Take Alphabet, for example. They just got bad news and we just plunged in the afternoon. If the response tomorrow morning is to buy the living you-know-what out of this, right, after it's given you this dip, it's an instant recovery to the 50-period moving average, then my thoughts can change. It just broke the 50 today. I want to see what the confirmation is. But for the actual cues, we just lost the 50-period. Like, I'm looking shorts again tomorrow. Like, that's the thought. Can my mind be changed? Of course it can be changed. But in the short run, that's what I'm thinking. And in earnings season, definitely go day to day more so than everything else. Just a quick update. This little low of the day here just held on that trend. So like this is now the third time we bounced off the lows on SLV, and I didn't get that bottom tick. So if it breaks the trend line, I'm just gonna hop out, which is now break even. It's also 343, so always tightening up stops anyways at this time of the day. Thank you for the super chat. I had to read that twice. Overweight spider. You know I hate spiders. really hate spiders.
Yep.
Fabian actually pranked me once pretty well on the show with that. So good for you, Fabian. Can you look at Rocket Lab? Okay, well, look, it's probably not going to look pretty. I can't imagine it's going to look pretty for Rocket Lab. Okay, 11%. Pretty much as bad as I would have expected for Rocket Lab. Everything about this is losing the bid. Did I think it would have this bad of a defense of the 200 period average, 200 period moving average? Actually, I didn't. I didn't think it would be this bad. I thought it would at least attempt to bounce to 200 because it has before. I don't own this stock. I think it's an interesting name, and I probably will look to buy the dip somewhere for like a trade. But this is all of the hallmarks of, again, what did I just say? Sell till it's not. It lost to 50 without even tried to bounce, rejected, right? So even when it tried to bounce off the 200, it rejected the 50. Second defense, no good. Now you have to go way out because when this happens, man, Procter & Gamble's a great looking chart. Sorry, I was just going over some charts when we were talking earlier. Here's what the monthly chart looks like on Rocket Lab to give you an idea of what this pullback is giving you. So I think you're really thinking about 50, like in the 50s until proven otherwise is where I would start looking back at interest. I mean, I hate to say it, but sometimes these massive, if the biggest name in the space, IPOs, like there's a big difference between SK Hynix coming with a US listing when there's Micron is a huge company and Samsung's a huge company and SNDK is a big company. SpaceX came to market and it dwarfs all of these other things put together, right? And like if that can't find buyers, why are we expecting this one to find buyers anytime soon? So I feel like it's a short till it ain't. And ringing the register made a ton of sense on the IPO hype for SpaceX. I do believe in the future here. I think they're going to carve out a bit of a niche because they're like the little guy to SpaceX's bigger loads, and I think that's a good niche for them. But the sentiment is what it is, and right now they're out of favor. And when a name like this, when you're not making money, gets out of favor, it can last a heck of a long time, a heck of a lot longer than people stay liquid or, don't get burned out or blow up accounts. So not here. Certainly when it has a 5 handle on it, that looks a little bit more interesting, just looking at previous price levels. The trend is your friend till the end, and we've got 3 minutes now till the imbalances.
Yeah, I was starting to look them up a little bit here, but we still don't have, Nasdaq or anything here yet. So we're just going to wait for Goro here. I don't know, 14 million shares, probably a buyout.
It's a penny stock.
Yeah, underneath $1 right now, so not doing too much else there. SOXL is coming as a bid on the NYSE American. So, you've seen a little bit of a rally back, I felt like. Not really. It's coming near the lows of it. Wow.
This is a delete.
I mean... All right, Ozan, we're friends again. I'm just playing with you. But there it is, man. I mean, let's celebrate it up, man. Stand up, everybody, if you're short right now. I mean, that was a good move in the NASDAQ there as we, like we said earlier, wrote down the short, really wanted to play that today and really glad that we did, man. I was really hoping that it didn't, and again, just to talk about, risk to reward. I mean, putting on trades and seeing them and being like, oh, this guy's short. Who really gives a you know what? But this is where my stop is. So we go short here at 54 with a stop into this area there. So a 50-cent stop, you're now in the money $3, And so you stair step it down. Like I said, I got to do a little bit better work here. But on this move right there, our first out is $1 right there. So that's 2 to 1. Then again right here at this lows, then more at this lows. And once we break it, we just start to wait for this to drip back down in, right? And so very, very important there that you understand not just okay, I'm short, we're looking short, we love the short today, everything written on here is short, okay? But at the end of the day, it's more about finding the trade, finding your way into the trade, and then really kind of having the conviction and your own strategies, of course, to hold something for this kind of a move, right? And so there it is on SpaceX. And to get out there at the 200 period, I think is great. I'm learning more and more, try to hold things, until certain things are hit. But on SpaceX, it was trading really funny early on, where it was kind of back and forth there. And then, Intel's still a big trade. It's still my third best stock today. Needless to say, the short was right until we got stopped out there. And just to show you one more thing here, as we get closer and closer to these imbalances, is that I tried to get back in. Like, we got ran right there, and I still believed in the short. So I got right back in the same minute that I got stopped out. I got back in, and then whoosh, went right down to the bottom almost immediately there, and we were able to take a little bit of profit. Then I just put the stop out on that same breakout again, and that hit for us there to the upside. So sometimes it's like, in that first half hour or an hour, it does become a problem. I'm testing all these different microphones.
How many mics do you need?
And then I get in trouble when I do something wrong. So, all right, let's go back. We'll go to Neil, and I'm going to get a new microphone on.
Well, we're going to do, I think we have the imbalances coming in about 30 seconds or so. We're going to make sure we handle those. Nick, I see you super chat. We'll get to that on the back end of the imbalances. I know we're also going to go to the desk with Sia, but we'll just very quickly hang around. This penny stock, Goro, whatever the heck it is, it's actually a delete today. So there might be something there from the S&P competition index, also from the S&P total market apparently. So GORO, it's supposed to be a sell, and it's indicating an early look sell. Wouldn't be surprised if we saw like Soxel or something pop up on this list, or even like an NVIDIA in a day where the chips are going crazy, but you never really know until these imbalances come out. I just tightened the stop again on SLV, don't expect that to be there, but on the off chance, wouldn't want to have it blow one way or the other. There's NVIDIA. NVIDIA, 4.6 million to the buy side on NVIDIA, 3.7 million to the buy side on Intel. Those are the two biggies for sure. You're also going to have Pfizer. Nobody cares about Pfizer. Apple, 1.1 million to the buy side. SMR, 1 million to the buy side. Someone wants to buy that stock. Alphabet, 1 million buy. Marvell, almost a million to the buy side. So pretty much everything is a buy. Market 4.4 billion shares buy side, Nasdaq 2.4, the Mag 7 860 million. Yeah, I guess profit taking is buys, and that's what they're doing.
Yeah, I just as soon as I saw that, I got out of the TQ, so we get out there at 94, and now it's starting to run a little bit higher to end of the day. Man, we'll finish the day at our highest spot. And part of that is just having that sort of patience to wait for those plays. But, look at SpaceX, just ripped right there, right through. So again, following the rules, pretty good decision right there. We'll see what tomorrow brings. I don't know if you saw Google on that list or not.
It was, but 900,000? That wasn't that big.
Straight to the downside there for Google. Nasty move there on Gemini news for Google. Really starting to help this move down. But you know what? We're going to go for crypto in a second. But it was Microsoft as well that sort of, I thought, caught a little bit of a bid there when we got the news about Gemini, and then all of a sudden, downside there into the close. But bouncing nicely off VWAP. I wish I would have seen that maybe. But ahead of imbalances, very, very risky trade there. So we have a perfect day on the board today. Apple, IBIT, Intel, Meta, SpaceX, and the Qs, all shorts. Let's go over to the desk here with Sia and your crypto update.
So E-Trade from Morgan Stanley today had announced the rollout of spot trading in digital assets, giving eligible clients the ability to buy, sell, and hold Bitcoin, Ethereum, and Solana directly on E-Trade's award-winning, quote-unquote, award-winning platform in partnership with Zero Hash, which is a leading digital asset infrastructure provider. Bitcoin to the downside, not too far from 8%, trading around the $64,190 region. Also, on top of that, not publicly held, but Crypto.com has said as of today that Citadel Securities has also invested $400 million in the crypto exchange at a $20 billion valuation in its first ever institutional raising round. And finally, we have Solana down on the day, close to 2%, trading around the $75.7 region, and Ethereum trading around the 1,872 mark, down on the day, inching close to 2.5%.
I kind of figured on that one.
Thank you very much, OC.
I just wanted to say here, I just saw something there from Charlie. I couldn't find it on our thing there because I think it was blocked. What's up, Charlie? 1.3K day today for you on the QQQ shorts. You'll be dreaming about my face tonight. Do not do that, man. Do not. If you want to turn your dreams into nightmares, that might be something that you want to do real quick. But thank you so much, Charlie. That's really kind of you, man. I mean, like I said, I'm just here to try to show you that it's possible to make that dream happen. And we talked about how hard it is to become a day trader. Hopefully we're showing you some winning trades. But a big shout out to everybody that's giving these super chats right here as well. Thanks to Bravely, thanks to Peter Beck again. Everybody that's here on TikTok today, we want to give a big shout out to all of you as we look at the chat all the time. And it's just been such a great little run for us here, and especially on TikTok, as that's starting to get a little popular once again. So if you prefer TikTok, you prefer YouTube, get on whatever one you do, and Neil and I will be watching out for those super chats. We'll be watching out for those comments and little funny things like that. So shout out to you, Charlie. I know you've been here for quite a while. That's pretty funny, but yeah, I'll make sure to tell. I mean, at least someone's dreaming about me, right? So that's I'll take it on that one. Microsoft downside, and there's a super chat.
Yeah, thank you, Nick Dubs. I can't, man. You took a swing long into Talcoa going into the earnings. Reminds me of the AEHR chart. Mind giving your thoughts? I mean, anybody that knows me knows, I don't love the notion of swinging in front of an earnings in the gamble shot. It would have to be so perfect, or just a stock that I'm in love with for some fundamental reasons I want to hold for a longer time. It's downward sloping and not looking good on Alcoa. So that's not really my cup of tea under the 200 period moving average. So it's hard for me to really like it from any technical standpoint. But look, you've made some great calls on your own for swing trading. You probably do way more of it than I do. That's for sure. I'm going to get Dangelsdorf? Run freight stocks, CHRW, JVHT, sector related. Well, there is a bunch of rotation going on. So JB Hunt, certainly, a lot of times we'll see this, right? When money comes out of something that has been trending up, the low-hanging fruit is for it to go into things that are, hey, well, what's still strong and what can go? We saw that with the financials, right? We saw that earlier with healthcare, although healthcare's pulling back now, and now you're getting some transports going to, well, they've been trending upside anyways. I think this is more the case of, hey, good stock just continues to go higher more than, I don't know if you can just take that in the sector rotation. No, it's just been upward trending, and it's a good one, respecting those moving averages. And we have more super chats here. 5 minutes to go, and they're just all getting them in.
They're all lining up.
So Modi Botros in the chat. You're looking for a straddle on Netflix. Joey Option's still here. That's who you got to ask. Our viewers right now are very, if I show you, even just our viewers are very indecisive. It is basically 40% up, 40% down, 20% flat for Netflix. So I don't think there's any conviction in the direction that Netflix will go. And I'll tell you, the problem with Netflix is I don't necessarily think having a good quarter or not is going to be the difference here. I think the sentiment is so bad for Netflix at this particular point, like ever since, there we go, I'm gonna zoom in. Ever since it made that top after the WB deal went the other way, its sentiment's just been like all over it. Like they don't seem to care right now. There's just no buyers on the stock. So I'm kind of I hate the word hope. I'm in like hope mode that it doesn't fall apart because I think the quarter will be solid, but it just hasn't seemed to matter.
We do have
not even a little bit.
Yeah, I don't know. I mean, we already said that there wasn't too much going on there on the Netflix content side of things. I mean, still wait for the live sports to hit. I think that's going to be
they win
obviously another shoe to drop right into here. I love our little banner here. Make sure you do come back every single weekday. And I just want to show you right here, 580,000 subscribers. So I want to say a big thank you to everybody that's been subscribed up to us right now. Wow, we have over almost 7.3, so 7,300 videos as well posted up. So, we're doing work for you every single day. And this is 8 a.m. to 4 p.m. every single day. The U.S. markets are open and soon to be, virtually 24 hours a day as we get Kuala Lumpur ready to go very, very soon for you. And our good friend One will be over there. So we're really excited to launch that very soon. But shout out to YouTube. And we're about to get even bigger and better, man. And you can go find me speaking all kind of Spanish as well over there on the YouTube Spanish channel, if that's still up. I'm going to make an announcement right now. One of my picks for tomorrow is Google. Enough is enough. We keep on sitting back here and we watch Google all the time. We talk about it being that tech ETF. I'll take advantage of this temporarily today. Anyways, we'll see what tomorrow brings. But for a play for me moving forward, I wanted to take an ETF as well in the account. I know Neil's got XLF, and I was debating XBI, but I took Johnson & Johnson instead. I'm going to go with Google. as a play, man. I feel like their earnings are going to be good. I like what they're doing with Waymo. YouTube, we just talked about it. I love that YouTube angle. I think Google does have the cloud behind it. And oh boy, man, happy to grab Google as a play, as one of my top 5 picks moving into the next 6 months. So I'm going to add Google to the board there and take it regardless. I mean, today's down 4%. Tomorrow
and it's like an ETF.
Tomorrow, yeah, it's sort of. I know Joe sort of mentioned that there. It is, but it isn't. You know, at the end of the day, I like Google. I think it's okay. I still use Gmail. I know. That's why
you're saying that like it's a bad thing.
No, I think everybody has Gmail. That's why a dramatic pause there for all
you still have a Hotmail account,
users. Or you've got mail right there from AOL. So if you guys are still using AOL, shout out to
Not
you
anymore.
Over there. I actually said a funny thing to my one of my daughter's coaches, and he sent an email out. And it was blah, blah, blah at hotmail.com. And I immediately just text the guy. It's like, look, I'm going to refuse to email you at Hotmail. It was just a joke. I said, you're the only guy that I know that actually has like their primary address as a Hotmail.
That's the key. I still have my Hotmail. It exists, but is your primary? At some point, you got to move on. I'm an old head, too. I don't mind people making fun of me over that. But come on, son. We talking about that?
Yeah,
well,
primary?
In 20 seconds, the market's going to be closed. And Netflix, hey, look what they're doing here. They're making a move. They're making a nice move here right into the close. Netflix looks like it's going to close right at the high of the day, which is brought to you, this bell, by VinFast, ticker VFS. Want to shout them out and thank them for sponsoring the afternoon and the closing bell, as it has been, well, let's call a spade a spade. It's been a bloodbath today. It's a bloodbath for the memory names. Nasty at the end of the day for Alphabet. That kind of came out of nowhere. We didn't expect to see that happen for them. It was bad for SpaceX. It was bad for FSL. I don't even know why FSL was down. We got questions about it, and it was getting its butt kicked. So there's just a lot of negativity. But at least the name that's reporting tonight is going to the upside. The next candle comes to red here. But here goes Netflix.
Well, we can wait if we get it. But I don't, actually, I looked at my account in the middle of the day, and it was actually, this is before the Google news. But I think we're lucky today that it wasn't too spread out. Like Apple's still up 2%, Microsoft's still up 1.5%, right? Some of the big names that people own, Eli Lilly, the XOMs of the world, still doing okay. But yeah, it definitely bloodbath as far as the AI and the chip race is concerned, man, with all those names, including Robinhood as well and SMR. And some of these names that are just maybe don't deserve the value that they had. There's Netflix right now. It's probably fine. Only down to $72, man. It's looking like it's getting a little worse right now for Netflix. They're reporting 80 cents versus 79. So that's fine. I don't see a big, huge reason for that. There's the move down into $71 right there for Netflix. It's just coming right back upside. Netflix on the report. If you have the numbers, Adair, we can actually just throw them. We don't need to go to you. If you do have them, we can put them on the screen right there. But yeah, take your time. And we'll stay with you guys for a couple more minutes. Netflix on the way down right now, downside. So I'm hearing everything in my ear, but I don't actually have the numbers. And when they come in, we'll give those to you. But what you're actually looking for here is a break of 70. So that's kind of like a very, very key spot there. Right now, it's kind of a nothing burger for Netflix. All you've done right now is go back to where we were at 10 o'clock. But Netflix on the way down right here. So there it is. EPS 80 cents for 79. Go ahead, Adara.
I'm not seeing the numbers yet. I'm seeing guidance. And again, I don't want to get ahead of it in case this is incorrect, but looks like they're guiding for the second quarter in a row, EPS and revenue below estimates. Yeah, I'm literally still only seeing guidance here on Netflix.
So I see the numbers. It's 80 versus 79. The sales is 12.56 versus 12.58. So
slight miss on revenue.
Yeah, it's a slight beat on EPS and a miss on revenue. So missing on revenue is a problem.
That's not good.
They spend all this money trying to gain new subs. And we'll find out if they give that sub number what that looks like. But guess what?
Well, they like something
Netflix is right back, baby. There it is. It's going higher. There goes Netflix through $75, starting to go a little higher. And this is why when we get those questions about hey, are we bullish? Are we bearish on Netflix? It's like you got to weed these numbers through. Even when we have these numbers, the market's still trying to figure it out. All right, Adara, one more time. What you got?
Yeah, so they're missing estimates for all of their guidance pretty much here for the next quarter. So again, EPS, narrow beat, revenue was a miss, free cash flow, $1.53 billion, well below estimates of $2.7 billion. But Netflix's guidance here is going to be really interesting. Q3 EPS, 82 cents versus 84 expected. Revenue for Q3, $12.86 billion. It's going to be a miss compared to $13 billion expected. Q3 operating income, $4.27 billion, below estimates of $4.36 billion. Q3 operating margin outlook, 33.2% versus 33.5% expected. They're guiding fiscal 2027 revenue, $51 billion to $51.4 billion. That's going to be narrower than their prior guidance of $50.7 billion to $51.7 billion. They're now guiding 13 to 14% growth, so more or less in line with their prior estimates. Yeah, guys, like the fiscal 2026 guidance isn't as bad. The Q3 guidance, I think, is something to be concerned about.
Rinse everybody through the bottom, and now threatening to literally rinse the breakage, because every time it breaks out yesterday's highs, it seems like it comes right back in. So all they're doing is screwing people in both directions here in the aftermarket. Yeah. But for now, it is to the upside. So hey, it's not a bad look. You can't really be mad if it is up 1%, but that's a nothing burger because obviously it's going to be underneath the expected move. So once again, it is flat that wins the day, which is often the case. So
we're going to Costco. We had our practice canceled tonight, so we're going to go. I'm going to Costco tonight as we drop our daughter off at volleyball. That's right, she plays volleyball, baseball, and hockey. Joe's on the phone with somebody else. I was wondering if he was talking to us. But all right, down to $73. Thanks, Adair. Thanks, Sia. Thanks, Neil, for again another great show. Have fun tonight. I guess everyone's staying inside around here.
You have to.
Thanks, thanks, Fabian, Brendo, everybody that's over there. Tiffany, what's up? There's one over there. Tiffany and Fabian, Ramin, and Andre as well. And then Sharif.
And a big thank you to Steve this afternoon and Mitch this morning as well.
Yeah, and an interview earlier as well. So we want to say a big shout out to everybody for watching. Thank you so much. And if you want to come to my screen, you can see what Netflix is doing just real quickly here. I don't know if we should tell you about it. But there goes Netflix right now. Back to the lows, but you didn't hear it from me. Netflix down to 71.50 right now. There's that break, man. Remember, it was actually 71.05 was the price that we're looking for the break, and it may have just held, but Netflix looking lower. We'll catch you on the flip side, man. It's 4:06. That's 6 minutes of overtime now, Neil. See, even we do it as well. So, ciao, everybody. Stay safe and stay fun.